everybody. Welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Mike DeLisio.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Mila Cleghorn.
Today we're talking about the best publishers of all time.
As
voted on by you.
This matters.
Okay, so here is a couple things we need to talk about.
No, we need to talk.
I'm feeling a little...
What are you feeling? You're feeling what? You're bouncy?
No, the table's a little tilted, but that's okay because I want to
Get ready. Hold on to your...
Happens when you mess with the camera. We should have just gone with the tilted look.
We should have left the tilted one there, right? Okay. This is why we're getting new cameras and stuff, folks. Okay, so anyhow, for those of you coming back we are running the best publisher of all time. We've run these polls before. We've done the worst board game covers of all time. We've done the best board game covers of all time. With publishers, it's a little tricky on how to do this, and so I had to make some calls here. So here's some of the things I did, because I didn't want to run 256 publishers. So we're doing only 64. So some of the rules I put into place were this. A publisher had to have at least 5 games. And so that takes out, for example, the big one, Cephalofair, with basically Gloomhaven, Frosthaven, Gloomhaven. You know, they're not in here, but that also took out people like Orange Nebula, IV Games, and pick your favorite. There's a lot of really big Kickstarter companies, Oathsworn, so on and so forth. But we're talking about publishers as a matter, we're looking for publishers with a track record. To that end, we're also only including publishers that still exist.
Right.
So, sorry, there's no Tasty Minstrel, and there's no Uber
Mayfair.
Play. Mayfair is out.
Uber Play, that's the
Uber
best
Play probably would not have been. But you know what I mean? And even when we do Avalon Hill later when they show up, we're talking about the new Avalon Hill. The old Avalon Hill is a defunct company.
Right.
Also, I pick companies who have their games published in English. This is an English podcast. That's kind of where we're at in this regard. So I'm taking out things like Alea, Hans and Gluck, and those companies. Many of their games will show up maybe published under somebody else.
Right.
Asmodee is not on the list. Instead of this big giant conglomerate Asmodee, many of their studios will be on the list here because they're essentially their own board game company.
It's a lot of rules, Tom.
I know it.
We're not even close to done yet. Don't worry.
Okay.
What?
And we're not. I didn't pick any very esoteric companies. I didn't pick things that were... I didn't pick Hasbro and Mattel. I didn't pick also very most of the war game companies aren't in here because we're talking to our audience. There's going to be some weird companies that didn't make it, and there were, I would say, like 10 companies who were on the edge.
Yeah.
You know, off the top of my head, there's Van Ryder. There's that didn't make it. There's Compass Games that didn't make it. Decision Games. Splatter, you know?
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough
nothing I can do about it. Well, I shouldn't say nothing I can do about it. I did it.
You could have. You did.
This was your fault.
Full
This was
say
yours.
in this.
I then somewhat seeded the companies. No, I did it.
I know. It's hard.
No, we did it.
I want that to be my company name. Somewhat Seated Games.
Because I want to have some of the fun matchups to show up later on in the competition.
Oh, there's one really good one early on, though.
There's some brutal ones
like
early
first,
on. Sorry, there's some brutal ones.
I disagree.
You know,
I disagree you did well doing that.
Here we
disagree
go.
games.
We go. I didn't say that, Tom. I want to be on record. I did not say you did it.
I apologize. Should I have allowed you to do it?
In your face studios.
All right.
Hey, can I mention something really quick that we're doing here? And if people want to play along at home, you can as well. We filled out full brackets. All right,
did we?
and Tom
Whoa.
and Chris shared that on Facebook, amongst other places, where if you maybe printed out a bracket at home as well, Gesundheit, Tom. He's all choked up about this.
Yeah, because Camilla's
and so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a little scoring system.
Yeah, okay.
So at the end, we're gonna total up our points and see who had the best score. If you want to do this at home as well, here's how we're doing it. There's a lot of different ways you can score brackets, but the one that I've used the most, I think, is the most standard. Yeah.
So before you get into this, hypothetically, if somebody was only told to do top 4,
you can very quickly do that crap now.
You'd have to do it really fast.
You can actually pick before the vote happens for each one.
I'm going to pick with the audience. How about that? Before
right,
I see their
that's
answers.
garbage
here.
sauce.
Okay, because here's the thing. Knowing these publishers, you guys all have an advantage that you, one, know more games by the publisher. Two, because they're gonna have these slides seeing the games. I'm going just off of names.
Okay.
I guess that's fair. She can look at the slides.
She can look at the slides.
Let's get back to something
Also-
that matters. Okay,
also,
scoring.
Camilla is exempt from this contest. All right. In the first round,
what do I
every
win?
Are you
correct...
that worried that you're
What
going to
do
lose?
I win? What is at stake?
I've got no worries. First round is each correct guess is worth 1 point.
Okay, the first two fighters, bam, 1 point.
1 point. The
So
second
you
round,
could get 32 maximum points.
32 in the first round. Second round, each correct guess is 2 points.
Oh, it doubles.
Alright.
Okay.
Right.
So you can
then,
get 32 points in the second round.
Then you get to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, okay.
Each one of those correct, 4 points.
So you can get
double.
32 points in the third
Then
round.
you get to the Elite 8.
The Elite Eight, yeah.
Each of those,
8.
8 points.
So you could get 32 points in that round
my
too?
gosh.
8 times 8 is 64, right?
Oh my.
So much math.
I'm out.
Each final four,
Wait for it.
16 points each.
Got it.
And then, if you get the champion correct, 32 points.
Actually,
The Elite Eight is only
actually
4.
30 yeah, so shut your mouth. That was right.
He was definitely right. Okay?
Whatever. The
The
Elite
Elite Eight is four winners.
Correct. Final four, 16 points
So 1,
each.
2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Yeah, sure.
Let me ask this: with all this fancy scoring, does it really matter if you get the final one right? It feels like you're going to win unless someone else also gets the final one right.
That's the whole point. Is that yes, it's usually not someone that did terribly. Well, you can't do terribly and then still pick the correct. You have to at least have
Yeah, it
gotten that right.
seems
all the way
like
through.
there's the curve here
Yeah.
is there's no one in the middle.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me talk to you all. Why they
Weak
have their
sauce. I'll
side
fix
game.
it for you.
This is.
Here's the deal. I want
tried
you,
and
when
tested.
you vote on these people who are watching, I want you to vote based on if that publisher is publishing a game, you are more interested in one than the other. So there's two
Okay.
publishers.
Yes.
They're both publishing a game.
Yeah.
You hear the name of those publishers, you go, I'd rather have one from this company. Don't vote because you want to see one beat the other one.
Right.
Don't vote, I don't know, just vote on which one. I want to be really clear here. I'm not here to diss any of these companies.
No.
If you own a publisher and it's not unless I apologize, I can only fit 64 on. I love you all. But actually that's not true. I don't love you all, but I love most of you. We're not here to mock publishers. We're here just to see who's the best, according to you.
According to you.
best. Yeah,
the
we're not
people.
even-
My top 10 publishers, I bet, would not have the top 4 here.
Right.
I
Right.
bet.
Yeah, it may be true actually. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Again, different perspective.
If you want to
working
see the
with them.
bracket, it's in Facebook and also it's on YouTube. I posted it on our YouTube
Yes.
channel under the community tab. All right, well, we have a lot of things to go through.
Yes.
So here we go. Matchup number 1 versus number 2. And this is going
You're
to be
voting as we go, right?
AEG versus Renegade. Now, this is Renegade. I want to be really clear because Renegade has a couple publishers who have worked with them in the past, Direwolf and Garfield, and both of them are on this list under their own categories. So this is not Garfield games. This is non-Garfield, non-Direwolf game Renegade. So you see some of their example games under each of these. AEG, of course, with Space Base, an amazing game. Thunderstone Quest, yada yada. My Father's Work, Planet X, The Search for Planet X for Renegade. I put the poll in the chat, so you can go there and start voting now.
Did you
All
vote?
right.
This is one I already had done because I knew both of these going into it.
Okay,
So this
all
one
right,
I'd
all right.
already made my
Do we
choice on.
do we say
We should
yes,
say-
I got that after
Well, sure,
it
the
happens?
vote's already going underneath.
Yeah,
so
you- 'cause I'm
talk
certain.
about.
We're not
So I
saying.
want 2 answers from both of you. Which one you like better, and which one you think will win.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good thing.
Go ahead. You can start.
Now,
The voting's-
because we could influence the voting.
Oh, the voting is way underway.
All right. Well, I picked AEG as the winner here, and with the constraints that we have on Renegade, I think I would probably also, for myself, pick AEG.
Okay.
I think it's a good matchup, though. I think these companies are very much comparable. I think Renegade seems to take more risks, but I also went with AEG.
Yeah.
I went before this one I did beforehand as well because I knew both companies and I gave the nod to AEG. I think
I do.
that
I thought
they
I
both.
thought
This was a tough
Z saw
matchup.
because I have. Oh wait, no. I
So you can each do one, just
All right.
scoring for them.
All right, you do Wendy's. I'll do Chris's.
Okay.
Did everyone else? Did Wendy and Chris also
They
pick
both
AEG?
picked AEG.
Yeah. All right.
And so did,
They did it.
So did
Oh,
Roy.
Roy, you picked AEG?
Pen.
All right, let's see what the people picked.
There we
Oh,
go.
it's 176 to
go.
55. So,
So this
that's
is 15 points each.
No, it's 1 point so far.
That's garbage.
what's garbage?
1 point? Go over the
it.
scoring again from the top.
So
Yeah.
it's 1 point in the first round.
No, I
All
think
right.
this was a solid matchup
It was
right here.
that's
Some
a tough
matchups are
one.
going to be trickier. Some feel a little lopsided. It's hard to do, but this is a great matchup. AEG versus Renegade.
That's a rough one.
I put them in about the same place in my head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's very close.
All right. Next matchup, which is number 3 versus number 3 seed, not 3 seed, just number 3 position against number 4 position. And we have here ZMan Games and 25th Century. So ZMan Games been around for a while. Obviously, Pandemic Legacy, Stone Age. I didn't know Feast Road was Z-Man, but yes, I guess that's technically true, though that's going to be in another category we'll look at later on. 25th Century, brand new on the block, but man, they're doing a lot of stuff. I'm surprised we didn't put Ra on there. But, well, I guess not out yet, but Ra is coming out. It looks fantastic. 25th Century has a pretty big slate of games for how new they are.
Yeah.
And I suspect that in a couple years, if they keep their trajectory, they're going to be one of the biggest companies around. At the way that they've grown so far.
Yeah, they seem to be doing very well.
They do.
I think so, but in a poll like this, I mean, you're talking a couple years. You're looking at right now, they're still kind of building that up. You know, so right now, I think it's to Z-Man. Sorry, Mike.
No, I would cut you off. I agree. I think Z-Man has the stronger, the longer history, the bigger slate of games. Although I also agree with Tom. I think give 25th Century a couple of years, and they're gonna be tough to beat. So I picked Z-Man, and I think I would for myself. Although I like a lot of 25th Century games too.
I did too. Z-Man has the experience, has done a lot of things from way back in the day, did a lot of interesting games all the way to now. And yes, they're slightly different than they used to be. They're, I mean, not slightly, very different. But I still think they are things that come out under the Z-Man banner, excite and interest me.
Right.
Not to say that 25th Century doesn't, it's just not as reliable as Z-Man publications.
All right. Well, this one was a bit of a blowout here.
That's what I think. Yeah, that's correct.
But I like to revisit this in 5 years and see where this ends up. Here.
For sure. That was a tough matchup for 25th Century.
Well,
Z-Man's been around a long time.
You got a pen?
I picked one up.
There you
want to trade?
No. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I like this one.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right, so we are next two companies here. So the next one, we kind of combined two companies because they're essentially the same company.
Yeah.
Although, funnily enough, the one they're going up against
is the same way.
Was combined a long time ago. The first one is Kids Gaming, or Kids Table Board Games.
Yeah.
But we're also including Burnt Island Games in that mix because they're essentially the same, or they definitely work together enough. You know what? We're putting them together, whether they like it or not.
Yep.
We're also putting Eagle and Griffin Games together, although that happened like 15 years ago.
That was a long time.
They are together. So Eagle, Griffin, and all the Lacerda games. And then, well, mostly the Lacerda games.
Those are the big ones.
And then KTBG, which has very popular, a lot of...
Family way.
They're two in. Yeah.
These are very different companies. Like, I wouldn't normally compare these two.
No, I wouldn't.
Right. They have a very consistent look at table board gaming or board games. Yeah. I like when a publisher is able to pull that off. When they have a look, you see a board game cover without seeing the logo, and you're like, that looks like a kids' table board gaming publication, right? I like that. But for me, I would go with Kids Table, but I'm going Eagle.
It's the same way. This is the first time where my pick is not what I would pick. I picked Eagle as the winner, but I would pick Kids Table Board Games.
I went Eagle on this one all the way. I think personally as well. I was like, kind of, you always feel like you're getting something deluxe with them, and I think like as a publisher, the game, the quality, what you think you're getting. I mean, yeah, they're also pricey, higher. They feel like a higher end game.
Yeah.
All right, let's see who's winning.
They got the big arrows.
Eagle.
That was not quite the blowout. Especially, I thought it would be more of a blowout because Lacerda games have so many fans.
That was the thing, yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how these move forward in the future. All right, our next one here, we have number 7 versus number 8. This is one of the closer matchups, I think, that's going to happen. Or it depends. Mike is...
I don't... you said yesterday that you thought this was going to be a blowout. All I said was I don't think this is going to be a blowout.
All right, we have Oink Games, the very, very, very popular little game company from Japan. And you can see their most popular games there, also Hey Yo, against...
the Inner Steel winner. Yeah.
Against Leader Games, who has... Oddly enough, Leader Games also has a pretty wide swath. I mean, you don't hear a lot of people talking about Vast and Fort.
Yeah.
You definitely hear people talking about Root.
Root is a juggernaut.
Does Ahoy out?
It is. Well, I bought it at Gen Con, so I don't know if it's widely
I didn't play that one or not.
But,
was it good?
Yeah, it's good. We reviewed it.
Tom doesn't care.
Tom doesn't care. He didn't.
I don't care. What do you mean I don't care?
Yeah, okay.
No, it's good. I like it. It's much lighter than I think Root. This is
lighter
one,
than Hey Yo, though.
It is not. This is one where I really have a lot of personal affection for both of these companies. Like,
okay, right.
you know, I
would agree with that.
I like a lot of what they both do. I picked Leader, and that would also be my personal choice because Oink doesn't have as strong of a hit rate for me. Like, some of their games are just not good.
You're thinking this is not going to be a blowout?
I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
I'm thinking it's going to be a blowout.
Okay.
Complete
For
blowout.
Leader, obviously.
Yeah,
I know
right.
what
Yes,
you're going
that's
with,
what I was
but
going to say for Leader.
I don't know. I mean, Oink is
What's
huge.
considered a blowout? You know,
70-30 at least.
Okay, I was
let's
thinking
see.
75-25. 74,
All
yeah,
right, all right.
75,
Oh,
25.
I'm sorry, Z. It's 74%.
no, I'll give you that.
Excuse me.
I was incorrect. I'll give you that. That's a pretty big win.
I still think that if you took the excitement of an Oink fan, but even then, I don't know, the excitement of
You
a
picked
frothing Leader fan.
Two publishers that have very, very passionate fan bases.
Somebody just messed up.
Uh-oh. Gotta cross that one out.
Wendy just had a bracket, but what do you call it? A
Bracket buster. It's only a bracket buster if she. Oh. Wendy's bracket is busted.
Oh.
This is a huge bracket buster.
Did you say Oink was going to win the whole thing?
She
Not quite.
up to the
Not
championship.
quite.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, ouch. I want my money back.
All right. Our next matchup here against a company that's known for making many party and kid games, but also some very, very popular cooperative games. We got Game Right against Pandasaurus. And these are actually two very different companies. Pandasaurus makes bigger.
I think I'd have a really different answer if you'd asked me 5 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. I don't know how old Pandasaurus is, but it feels like 5 or 8 years. Right now, my goodness.
If you had asked me,
Pandasaurus is on absolute fire right now.
if you had asked me 2 years ago with this matchup, I think it would be much closer. I think that the last couple of years, really,
And that's not any fault of Game Right.
no.
No, not at all. Not
think
at all.
the-
They're doing fine. I mean, Super Mega Lucky Box is a nice little game. It's fun.
They've got some Stone Cold classics there.
Pandasaurus, they put out that logo change.
That's what I
they
was just going to say.
rebranded
It
a
was
little
right
bit.
around there. They
Are you
just
saying it's the
they-
logo that did it on?
I don't know. It's a company philosophy or something. They
Yeah.
are on fire.
really
recent
Yeah,
Pandasaurus
they have-
is very good.
They have some really good people like picking the game designs to pick up
Yeah,
and that
there's
kind of stuff.
something
There's
Did
some
you all
good
pick
stuff.
Pandasaurus?
I
I
did.
did, yeah. Personally, and
Yeah, both.
I think that's where they're going to go.
So is the only person who's got one wrong so far Wendy?
I believe so.
Where you got all yours right so far?
Yep.
All right. Well, let's see what everyone says.
Yep.
It's
pretty close.
Okay,
That's
closer.
close. I think a lot of people have nostalgia for Game Right.
Well,
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
Forbidden Island and Forbidden Desert, very strong games.
And
that a lot of
Sushi
people
Go.
like.
I mean, these are some classic
Yeah.
games.
All right.
It is.
Modern classics.
I don't know about modern classic. Give it
Alright.
a couple years.
Oh,
Okay, so our next
they're-
matchup-
They get newer, you're saying.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
clear.
Our next matchup, we got one of the Asmodee studios. Plan B going up against Devere. Now, Devere has just recently leaned into heavier Euro-style games, Lacrimosa,
Yeah.
Red Cathedral, Batoku. But Plan B has Azul. And
Century
Yeah.
and Great
also
Western.
with Plan B, we're including Eggert Spiel, since as far as I know, Plan B owns Eggert Spiel, but again, this might have changed.
Right.
But Century, Reef, Campbell Up, Great Western Trail.
Ooh,
Devere
those
is
are-
lovely, but
Yeah.
they're still
They're an
uneven.
up-and-comer. And they are a little uneven.
That's
yeah.
my main problem with Devere. They can go from like a really great game, like right there. I mean, for me, there's a few there I haven't played, but it'll be something I really like into Silk, which I was like, no.
Is that what that lower left is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Silk. Yeah,
To
Devere-
suddenly like Red Cathedral, which is very popular, to something else, I'm
Right.
like, they're just
Yeah.
uneven a little bit.
Yeah. They're a Spanish company, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah,
Plan B have ones that just keep hitting the table. They're ones that I know people play over and over again, so they have that not replayability, as a game mechanism, or not mechanism, but whatever, but it's more just beloved.
Plan B tends to make games that have very wide appeal.
Right.
Yes,
Right?
Yeah.
And so they're like, they just have some very well-liked games.
That's who
They have very few misses also.
Yeah, they do.
had a
Plan
couple.
B did kind of slam
Plan
dunk
B,
on
wow.
Devere. Everyone got Plan B?
Yep.
I did.
Not Wendy.
But Wendy
I feel like I'm calling on Wendy. She got Devere, so that's a no-go.
But again, she was probably closer to
Well, she also
my
may be picking the
bracket,
one that
I
she
assume.
liked better, and I bet she likes those. She liked Lacrimosa. And
She
Yeah.
did. That's true.
Yeah,
yeah.
And also
That's true.
maybe not seeing the slides like I'm seeing. Again, I don't know what her.
I would argue someone in the comments said
Exposure.
Plan B is nothing without Eggerspiel. No way. They got Azul, dude.
Yeah.
Azul is a-
They
Come
got
on.
between Azul and
Yeah.
Century.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Well, now we have one of the old guard companies here against not a slightly newer company. Cranial Creations is pretty new. But they have a lot of games people like, especially a lot of those the
Heavy
Italian
Euros.
design games against the behemoth Fantasy Flight. My question is, my first assumption Fantasy Flight will win. But Fantasy Flight's been kind of sedate over the past few years. But you know what? They also have Marvel Champions. So
Fantasy Flight has control of some of the most beloved intellectual properties in board gaming. And I think that says a lot. They also have a history. There's going to be people that have been in gaming a long time that have nostalgia for what Fantasy Flight used to be. So my guess is that Fantasy Flight will win, but I think a lot of it's going to be based off of what they've done 15 years ago, not necessarily what they're doing now.
But if they announced a game right now,
people still
even
care.
if it's not even if it doesn't have an IP, if they right now came out with a game in which it's a sci-fi game in which you are exploring a city and finding a whatever, and it came out from Cranial Creations or Fantasy Flight, I'm like, Fantasy Flight. And the same is true for a Euro game, honestly. I'd be like, Fantasy Flight could probably make a really good Euro game.
And again, if we're talking about excitement behind a company, I mean, talk about some Ameritrash really putting theme into the game.
Right.
I mean, you got your Mansions of Madness, you got your Arkham Horror, you talk about Marvel Champions. The theme is so prevalent in this that people get excited about that. And I think it builds behind these games.
You also happen to basically take the most Eurocentric versus the most. I don't think you did that purposely, but this is a stark contrast.
I 100% did none of this purposely.
Yeah,
okay,
that's a
there was
stark
some
contrast.
There was some randomization in these. No, I seeded companies based on how popular they are, but I put them in groups and then randomized that and put it in.
Okay, all right.
So,
all right, that's about what I expected.
Although that's not as big of a blowout as it would have been 10 years ago, it would have been 236-1.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's another one, though.
All right.
Another one.
Our next matchup here, which is 15 versus 16. Now, again,
this is a trap game. This is what we call a trap game, folks.
This was randomly set up, but I thought it's funny because both these publishers have three-letter names.
Yeah.
We have CGE against GMT.
Do we know what's GMT stand for? GMT.
I believe the G stands for Gene, which is the name of the first. I think it's the names of the people who own the company.
The CG is Czech Games Edition.
Right.
Yeah.
And it says it right there.
Yeah.
But the other one, I wasn't sure. Yeah.
So I picked my choice, which was CGE, based off of what I believe the preponderance of our audience is.
Right.
Okay.
Right? If this was a wargaming focused show, channel, GMT would knock it out of the park.
There is a lot of GMT. The reason GMT is on the list rather than most of their war game companies is they do have things like 1960 Dominant Species, Twilight Struggle.
They do, yeah. No, it's a perfectly valid, choice for this, but I do think CGE will get it because of our audience.
It is funny, though, that GMT can kind of hold court in both camps.
They can.
They'll make a war game and nobody scoffs. And then they go and make a game that is a heavy Euro, really, for all intents and purposes, and nobody scoffs. You're like, yeah, I mean, we assume this is solid.
But I mean, I think where CGE, does it is they have more of the breadth of complexity. I mean, you can go from Lost Ruins of Arnak, a medium weight, to something heavy. I mean, Alchemist was up there, so they have more variance in the complexity that they can, which is going to appeal to more people.
Yeah, that gets more people.
Okay.
I definitely went CGE as well. I don't care for either one of these companies.
Do you think?
Not my favorite.
I know you don't care for CG. Well, do you think CG could make it pretty far in this?
No, because they're going up against Fantasy Flight.
That's going to be an interesting matchup.
No, it's not.
Well, let's see if they even won. We're talking like they won. Oh, they did.
Oh.
Hey, you think? You think? Did they win? It was a close one.
Again.
It's a nail biter.
All right. Well, this next matchup, I don't know who's going to win
I
this
picked
one.
the dark horse, I think, on this one.
Did you?
This is one where I think
don't know who
went
the dark
against
horse
everybody.
is. So we have the brand new IP happy company, Funko Games, against the old guard, and you can tell that by looking at their games, Queen Games. This is definitely a new versus old style poll.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because Funko, I mean, has the Back to the Future Pan Am, which got critical praise, the whole Funkoverse, Rear Window. Queen has a lot of games people really like, though.
They really do. Now, Queen has dug a little bit of a reputation hole, I would say, over the last couple of years. That's just my opinion. Now, this is my opinion.
Okay, just to be clear, we're saying that for the whole
Exactly.
the whole video.
I'm not, okay? This is fact. Anything I say is fact.
I picked Funko, and I think I'm going to be wrong here, but I wanted to go with a couple of dark horses, and I think there are some people that really, because Funko in many ways is Prospero Hall, right? And a lot of that design, studio came out of the gate so hot that I thought maybe some people would go for it, but I think this is the first one I'm going to get wrong.
But I went with Queen Games, and I think it's because they're games that people are willing to. I mean, we keep seeing Queen Games on Kickstarter over and over, bigger editions, more deluxe editions, that kind of stuff. They are beloved.
Yeah.
They're games that people are excited about and know to deluxify, to make their favorite games, that kind of stuff. I think because of that, they're more known and people get excited about the company. So I
Multiple
gave the
Spiel
nod to
winners
Queen.
too with Queen. I
I
mean,
feel
they
like-
just have a history.
I feel like Funko for me keeps trending in the wrong direction where they're going more and more commercial, closer and closer to showing the roots, which is we make plastic toys. They keep trending that way for me specifically in my factual opinion. So I also went for Queen on this
All
one.
right, let's see who got
I think
this one.
I probably took too much of a risk with this one. Yeah, it was close though.
But
All
did
right.
you take it all the way to find?
No, that was not going.
Did you bust your bracket?
I absolutely did not.
That's
miss my
interesting, though.
bracket.
That's one of the closer matches we've had so far. So we'll see
Yeah.
where Funko ends up next year, or if Queen goes down. I don't know.
That one also.
You said Funko too?
Said Funko.
Yeah, that was a tough one, Roy. I really was on the edge, but I wanted to take a risk on a couple of these.
Us talking smack about Queen too much is what made me.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
now again, speaking of old guard, our next matchup we have Rio Grande Games. Not what they once were, frankly.
Sure.
And living off of Dominion expansions against Aporta. Now they're a newer company, and they're definitely a darling here at the Dice Tower. We tend to really like their games, but which ones do you like? I mean, again, Rio Grande imports delicious games, which doesn't hurt with Underwater City. They have their own big blockbusters, Dominion and Race for the Galaxy, and Beyond the
hard.
Sun. And then they bring in PD Verlang. They had Concordia from them. Is that
Yeah.
PD Verlang? I think it is.
Yeah.
So
Lag, right?
Verlag, yeah, Beauty Verlag. Yeah.
I
This
think
is
we
going
were
to be the
lagging.
closest one so far.
You
I feel
think?
like I
No.
do.
I don't think this is going to be.
I
think this is
think
going to be
because of nostalgia, okay? Because right now, looking at, say, the last publication from each of them.
Right, but we're not
I'm
doing that.
sorry.
We're not doing that, though.
Well,
That's
we
the thing.
are to a degree because we're saying if a game is coming out and you don't know who's publishing it and you're interested in that game,
Yeah.
who would you rather it be from of these two people? That's what
Yeah.
we're saying.
I
I
get
have
it.
a clear answer
Yeah,
because
sure.
I've seen what Rio Grande is putting out lately. If you look at the catalog, that's different. Right?
Yeah, but I mean, look at those of the Rio Grande titles up there. I would say 3 of them are what I would call recent-ish games, right? Concordia, Beyond the Sun, and Underwater Cities. Those are all very popular games. I'd argue they're more popular than anything that Aporta's put out there.
yeah.
I'm
Any of
kind of
those-
with Mike. Look, I love Aporta a lot. I really like.
I like a lot of those. I like
They're
every one of those
revived a
games up
ton.
there.
But I think Dominion by itself beats them all.
Right,
Race for the Galaxy
right.
by itself.
I don't know.
That's a strong.
I gave the nod to Aporta because I think they're the ones that people are hyped about recently. I mean, Revive is talked about a lot. I know Bad Company was talked about a lot. People are really excited about these games coming
Yeah.
out.
They're
I
also
think
hard
that
to get here, too.
They are, and that could be part of the hype is trying to find it. But
I gave it to
I
Aporta
gave it to
also.
Aporta.
All right, well, I
let's
think
take a
this is
look.
your first loss.
I think this is just a better company right
Wow, that's my
now. I'm
first
super
out.
wrong, but
Yeah. I think they're wrong.
Did you
I think
bust
we
a
were
bracket?
right.
No, I'm
but-
good.
No,
That
if
is
you're
how
asking
I-
me,
so
I
that-
100% would be much
Yeah.
more interested in an Aporta game than a
Right.
Rio Grande game. But for
thinking
this,
how they would go.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is interesting. So how do I do my bracket now?
But it's all wrong from now on if you made it go farther.
See, the thing is,
What?
you can't. That's why you can't really do it.
I know,
like
like
that.
I mean, I'll try and do it before. It's just
Yeah.
a matter of knowing enough companies to.
All right,
Yes.
next we
Now
have.
you have better odds than we do because you
Now
cannot
it's
possibly
France
bust a
v.
bracket.
France.
I hate this matchup.
We have.
You see them
Yeah.
happen?
Well, I'll do the next two that I pick from there based on.
I'm going to go
without
on to the
answer.
next
Yeah,
I'll be
matchup
fair.
here.
I'm honest.
Is that okay?
Trust me. Nah.
Can we move on? Okay.
Well, hold on.
You
Camilla's
may
cheating over here. Okay,
She's
she's
now.
gonna get a
No,
higher
I'm
score.
saying I'm honest.
Hachette
Trust me.
versus Yellow. Hachette, of course, they are. Like, if we talk about right now who's hotter, definitely Hachette.
Yes.
With the Ultri and Devere and the It's a Wonderful World.
Acropolis and, oh, man.
Yellow, though, has the monster King of Tokyo and Bunny Kingdom. Well, I don't. Well, that's not a monster, but Yellow has these other games. This is an interesting one for me.
This is really interesting for me because I picked. I don't know that there's a disparity more between the one I picked and the one that I would pick than I did here. Like, for me, it's Hachette 100 times. I really don't particularly like most Yellow games. I like the way they look, and I like King of Tokyo. But most of their games I find to be pretty pedestrian. I think the Hachette kind of they're like an umbrella. They knocking it out of the park. For my personal tastes, man, I love
Yeah.
those French games. Sorry We Are French, the Studio H, all those games, the La Botte de Jeu.
French also, but
I know, but their umbrella. You're right though. You're
It's
right.
also not close for me. Like my 5 favorite games from Yellow are shown on the screen.
Yeah.
I
I picked
my
Yellow
5 favorite
for this,
games from Hachette.
but-
I like almost better than the 5 favorite games. Like
Yeah.
they're just fantastic.
really
Yeah.
interesting. I'm going with Yellow on this one.
I am too because
I
it's
would
more
I feel like
Yellow.
well
Hachette,
known.
people don't really know
Yeah.
who Hachette
That's
is.
exactly
also.
it.
It's like,
That's
you know.
exactly
That's
it.
why-
I think
Yellow.
that is going to change.
It's going to change.
I assume it will, yeah, but I think, I don't know. I think Yellow
Yep.
Yellow's
gets
more
the
known.
nod. They've done a lot of stuff. Yes, it's not all a hit, but there's a lot there.
Yep.
All right, well, let's see who gets it.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's very close, very
That was
close.
Wow,
close.
okay.
All right, that makes me feel
Yeah.
good because I think Hachette is an up and comer for sure.
But again, I think that name Yellow, it
carries
still
weight.
means something. I don't think it's quite
I agree.
burnt yet.
I think this next matchup will be one of the closest ones.
I think you may be right. I'm
And
back
these
and
are
forth on
two
this
very different companies here. So first we have Bezier Games with the Ultimate Werewolf stuff, but also the Suburbia and those spin-offs against Portal Games, which has Robinson Crusoe, Imperial Settlers, Detective, Gutenberg, which is their
Grana, but
Grana
they
games.
brought it over. Yeah.
This is for me, even like I don't. Not only do I not know which one would win, I don't know which one I like better because I
Yeah.
like both of these a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, I probably lean towards Bezier.
I like both of these a moderate amount. Like neither of these publishers do I hear they're coming out with a new game and I'm like, oh. I'm like open-minded. You know, I'm not like, oh, I hate these. I don't really like these kinds of, but I also don't get excited about either publisher.
Do you think personality weighs into this one? People really like Ignacy.
Well, he certainly is a charismatic person, and he's very front-facing, right? Like he's
blogs.
right.
Yeah.
I did pick Portal for this, and I think Ignacy is a part of that. He's a very good ambassador for his company, and also in Poland, like he brings over. Portal brings over like so many games to the Polish
It's a
market.
big deal over there.
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
I think he also, I gave the nod to Portal in this one. I think they also support the games. You
They
know,
do,
and
yeah.
that's real. And I'm not saying that whoever
Bezier
Bezier doesn't, but I think that Portal is really good. I mean, Hiroshima Hex keeps having the new armies, and 51st State, just had a Kickstarter, and before that, Robinson Crusoe had one. So some of their big beloved titles they also support, which kind of keeps that fan base
They
behind
do,
it.
actually.
Yeah.
They're pretty good
there's
about
a lot
that.
of
You're right.
excitement behind it.
They do.
Yeah, I get excited about Portal.
Yeah.
Like you were
That
saying,
was
both,
close, 57%,
neither one you're that excited
42.
about. If a new Portal game is announced, I'm excited.
Yeah,
Bezier, I'm just not. I'm not
Okay,
a
but
fan.
I'm gonna push back at that because these both knuckle brains are wrong in this. Bezier makes fantastic stuff.
I'm not
and I
saying
like
they
this stuff.
don't. I'm
No,
saying
they
they're not
don't.
my style.
I will tell you, the problem I have with Bezier is that up until recently, it's felt like Here's the next werewolf game.
I get that. That's fair.
But they've
there's also
started to break out.
Suburbia's 10 years old now.
I don't like Suburbia, though.
My word. All right.
And I'm not a
Our
fan.
next-
I'm not a fan of castles and mech.
Me neither.
I strongly dislike castles.
Yeah, I don't like either
Yeah.
of those games.
So
I'm glad I have other gaming people. All right. Well, I'm just saying.
No, hey, it's good.
I have to play. Okay. Anyway, next we have Arcane Wonders, which has the new Smash Hit Foundations of Rome, Onitama, the Dice Tower Essentials line.
Yes.
Going up against Space Cowboys with the Unlock, Splendor, Jamaica. I
Yeah.
obviously am going to throw my lot in with Arcane Wonders since I helped them pick these games. So I'm definitely skewed into this one.
I am as well. I think Space Cowboys, like that logo, came shot out like a rocket, and they've slowed down recently.
They have. They were on top of the world there for a little bit when Time Stories was hitting. They were like, "Wow,
Yeah.
this company is a company to watch. These guys are going to be on the cutting edge of innovation."
Yep.
They're not there anymore. In fact, I would now lump them into like under Hachette kind of company,
Yeah.
which I don't guess they're not, but I can kind of see them being
Right.
soon.
Yeah.
But I definitely will go against Tom in every possible moment I can. So down with Arcane Wonders.
You picked Space Cowboys?
No, I picked Arcane Wonders.
Okay.
You crazy? I like myself.
But you do like Jamaica.
I do, but it's not enough to pick Space Cowboys.
Right.
But I also think with those games, people are excited if they hear something come out for Space Cowboys. If it's like, oh, it'd be because it's like Time Stories. So they have to compare it to another game to be excited. It's not just because of the publisher that someone will be excited. I think the games are too hit or miss almost, you know? So
Still getting grief for my furnace thing. I'm
what?
never going to live that down.
What happened with Furnace?
I picked it as like a surprise game 2 years in a row or something. I was really surprised.
I want you to pick it this year.
I'm gonna do it. All right, Arcane Wonders.
Yeah.
All right, but again, that's not as much of a blowout. Well, it's 70-30, but it's still
Yeah.
people like Space Cowboys. Alrighty, now we have a brand new company that's growing by leaps and bounds. Actually, not brand new, but they're newer. That's Lucky Duck. With the Smash Hit Chronicles, Crime put them on the map, but they have a lot of other games against Horrible Guild. And Horrible Guild has a bunch of the various. Man, they got the
King's Dilemma.
King's Dilemma, the Unicorn Fever, the Railroad Inc., Potion Explosion. This is a pretty.
This is a tough
very-
matchup
This-
right here.
This is really
is.
tricky, and there's a couple of things here. I maybe should have asked you this before we went live, but Lucky Duck also distributes.
I don't put that stuff on the
Okay,
screen. I only
okay.
pick games that Lucky Duck specifically made.
Okay,
I did that
okay.
on purpose.
Okay, that's good.
I'm
That's
trying
good to
not
know.
to.
That's good to
well,
know.
I mean, distributing. Portal distributes lots of games from other companies.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's fair. This is a tough one.
It is a tough
This is
one.
tough.
Both
It's a
of
tough
these
one.
are great.
And I think it's Horrible Guild, right?
Yeah.
Horrible Guild here. I think you can just see the range of the games. Railroad Inc. to Evergreen. Like, gosh, those are so completely
King's Dilemma is like
different.
a giant legacy game.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, so
yeah.
what they can do with that, but the innovation that I think we've seen coming out of Lucky Duck is really exciting. And I
Yeah.
hear Lucky Duck, and I'm, ooh, that's exciting.
sure,
What are they
yeah.
doing? How have they redone this system, or what have they innovated? And it's typically worked. I mean, Chronicles of Crime with the QR was new, and it worked really well. You know, we saw that carry over to Destiny's, only getting better. And so I think both companies are really good. The breadth of what you see in Horrible Guild, but I definitely
Yep.
give the nod to Lucky Duck in
I
this
did
one because
as
they're an
well.
exciting company.
Someone's
Yeah.
asking if Horrible Guild has campy creatures. That's Keymaster.
No, that's
Keymaster.
Keymaster, yeah. Yeah, I was just talking about, we were talking about Space Cowboys and how they were kind of innovative at one point. Felt like they were going to be that company
Right.
that would innovate. That's Lucky Duck.
Right, I agree.
Okay, and especially when you consider technological innovation, the stuff they've been able to do with app integration, forget it. That alone.
Right.
All right.
This can be close.
Our next matchup here.
Oh, we hadn't seen it yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, what?
Lucky Duck, okay.
Lucky Duck is actually a lot closer than many of the matchups have
Yeah,
been.
it's pretty-
so yes,
pretty close.
Lucky Duck, Horrible Guild, and a lot of people like Horrible.
Yep.
Bam!
Sorry, I already knew the winner. So sorry, I forgot.
Okay,
Da, 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 da. All right, Lucky Duck.
Tom and Patient.
All right. I need to write something down for a second.
Oh, you got in trouble!
Bracket
Somebody's
Buster!
in trouble.
Bracket Buster!
We have Restoration Games against Aries Games here. You can see them. So Restoration, a company that's bringing back older games, but honestly, really remaking them.
Yeah, these are not
against
redos,
a company that loves theme more than almost any other company in the world, and that is Aries Publishing.
To me, this feels like it should be a blowout, and I don't know that it's going to be, but to me, this should not even be close.
You don't know how strong War of the Rings fans are.
I do know, but I think that's the only reason Aries would even get close. It's one game. One game. None of those other games, sorry, Z, even come close to any of them.
No, I agree with that mostly.
Unfortunate.
I think Restoration Games has an incredibly strong identity.
Correct.
Aries doesn't. They publish games. Good games, well done, right?
Yep.
Uneven a little bit. Some games are definitely come and go. But Restoration, they've picked a thing and they've actually stuck with it, which is kind of mind-blowing. How many companies...
Stronghold!
I mean, so many companies come along because they're doing X thing. We're publishing little games from Japan that haven't come out in the States. They do that 3 times, and then they start putting up, original stuff, whatever it may be. Strong Restoration is still doing that, so they're doing what they said they would be doing. I really respect that, and it gives them an identity.
Right.
Yeah, I think Restoration, part of what they do is they restore games, and so people hear that and they're like, ooh, what is it? I'm excited. They want to know that it has that nostalgic factor.
Yeah,
I think Aries, to me, would be one of the most undervalued companies, and I love what they do with the theme. But yeah, I definitely think Restoration on this one, just with that excitement factor.
That's pretty strong blood there. Restoration Games winning. All right, our next one, and it's the last one of the first half of the bracket. We have games with very, very passionate fan bases.
Yeah.
So the aspect is, if you are a fan of one of these companies, it's possible you play almost no other company's games. It's possible.
Or you have every one of their titles.
That's right.
Yes.
So we have Chip Theory, whose games are all waterproof. Not really, but many of them are.
They pretty much all are.
Against Level 99. One company, Level 99, all about the anime and kind of... Not, but anime with...
Pixel artwork, anime.
Yeah, but solid games. Against Chip Theory games, who are not games for everyone.
They're lifestyle. They're lifestyle games. 100%. They're lifestyle games, and so, yeah, like you said, this is interesting because there's 2 very passionate fan bases. This one wasn't close for me.
Well, we know where you stand.
Well, sure, because I do like Chip Theory, but it's more than that. I generally don't like Level 99 games. I really just don't particularly like their aesthetic. I don't really love their gameplay, the ones that I've played. So, I'm not saying they're bad games. They're just not for me. It's not close on my end.
I picked Chip Theory. This is one matchup that I had picked before. I picked Chip Theory because I knew them. Well, and I don't think people know Level 99 games unless they are that anime fan base or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong, but Chip Theory, I know that. They're beloved. People know the quality. So even if they don't buy them, even if it's not their lifestyle, they know that, and they're probably going to look into it.
Yeah.
And
all right, let's take a look and see who won this. Very soon we'll see who won this.
I'm curious.
The suspense.
Well, I would imagine.
Oh boy, I can't
gosh.
wait. I guess I can because I have to. One of these days, folks, you are going to see something that's going to blow your mind.
There it is.
Yeah, Level 99 had them in there then.
Closer than I thought, actually.
All right, that was League A. League B here. So, all right, well,
I'm gonna do
sorry to this next matchup, but it is what it is. So first we have the big new behemoth on the block, Awaken Realms, with their giant games like Nemesis, Tainted Grail, Aetherfields, against Academy Games, who has made historical games approachable. I was going to say possible for the common person to play, but approachable is a better way to say that with fewer words. You're so much wiser than me.
I disagree.
I super respect Academy Games for what they do. You talk about a publisher that has an identity. They have an identity, right?
Agree.
And they and really classy productions too. And they tackle some themes that are very tough, and they do it in a really respectful and well-done research manner.
Unfortunately, their identity doesn't include miniatures.
It also, every one of those titles on the left, maybe with the exception of this War of Mine, are literally multi-million-dollar projects. Every one of them.
Yeah.
So it's not close.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree. No, you're right. Academy Games does have a very strong identity. They what they do really well.
Really well, yeah.
They've had a couple of weird side projects though lately, where they did like the video game one that went nowhere. What was that one, Tom?
They did the Battle of the Gods. Awaken Realms light though.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about Academy games.
Oh, Academy games. Sorry.
They did that video game one.
Stellaris, it didn't go nowhere.
Stellaris? No, it's up the purple.
No, but that's just that
shooting
racing
one.
game where you race around the cubes, which I thought was kind of fun, but it was not. No one's playing that game.
One, yeah, they've had a couple of misses.
Anyway,
for
Awaken Realms. I'll tell you,
That's not bad. That is not bad.
I thought this would be
Okay.
like 90-10.
That actually
How many of those do you think
worries me a little bit about later in my bracket here.
Well, I
actually.
have them going pretty far as well. But how many of those do you think?
Suckers.
How many of those do you think are voting against Awaken Realms?
A fair
Why do
amount,
people
but
vote against
again, gosh, they have
people are people?
so many thousands of backers for each of their
Don't be
projects.
one of those people who
Don't
votes
be-
against a company.
Right.
Vote for a company, not against a company. Boo!
It's because they just forwarded this part of the video, not where you gave the
Well, I'm
instructions.
saying it now. Vote for companies, not against companies. All right. Next we have. Oh wait, I wrote that down wrong. I made the poll wrong.
Uh-oh.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, boy.
Oh, snap.
Oh, boy.
No. I haven't put the poll in the chat yet.
All right,
So
well, that
that's
gives me a
boring.
chance to go through and do some of these.
All right. Well, I can.
Sauce?
No, the ones where I did it right. I am going based on what
All
I
right.
would
So
have chosen.
the first company we're talking about here was. Well, you can see them on the screen. We got Wizards. I mean, WizKids.
Yeah.
And against Repos Production.
Yeah.
So Repos Production, their big one, of course, is Seven Wonders, but they also got very popular party games.
Yes.
They don't have a very deep shelf because once we go beyond the stuff that you see here, there's not a lot more.
Yeah.
WizKids is all over the place.
They sure are. This was one of the toughest matchups of any round for me, and I picked
interesting.
against my personal choice.
Really?
I did.
I went with my gut on this one with what I thought would take it. It's also my pick. I'm going with Repos.
I went with WizKids, even though I would choose Repos personally.
I think WizKids, just the ups and downs. I mean, they're in a good place right now.
Yeah.
I think they're putting out strong stuff.
Yep.
There's been a lot of ups and downs. For a while there, you get games that have terrible covers and don't seem quite finalized.
Yeah.
Then they're back and they come out strong. Then they put out a few things that you're like, why is WizKids putting this stuff out? This is pulling you back. Then they're back with a fury. I don't know. They just
tough.
can't. Their pacing is always a little off for me, but they got some good stuff.
Thanks for the super chat, Dan.
Yeah, this is one
Thank
that I
you,
didn't.
Dan.
This is one that I didn't pick beforehand. I just picked based on what's up there, and I think recently Repos has been like people are going to see that and be like, oh, just one. Oh, so Clover. Oh, you know, I mean, they've just been hit.
It's gonna be-
Yeah, I think the problem with WizKids, I like WizKids a lot, but they publish them absolute dreck. Like
They do.
every fifth game is just trash.
It really is.
Now they're getting to do that less as time goes by.
Wow. Okay, this
Yeah.
was not. I was wrong on this one. Okay.
Yeah, people like Repos, man. Well,
I
Seven
do, too.
Wonders
I
and Seven
would've-
Wonders do alone.
I personally would have picked Repos. I thought WizKids was gonna have more from the chat though, but I was incorrect.
This next match, we got a tiny company against an epic company. So we have
Wait,
tiny
what?
epic games or Game One games against Keymaster, who makes parks and several other games that Z likes all of them. Actually, I think you're a big fan of them too, right, Mike?
I am. Yeah, every one of those games I like. Now,
Looking at
I
what's
can
up
say
there
the
right
same
now,
thing.
I think this might be the first time I made a mistake. That's obvious to me now.
You see those epic.
Yeah, people are going to. They have a deeper bench. Gameland games. Therefore, you are, as a voter, more
they-
likely to have something you like.
Do they have a
among
deeper
all
bench?
those.
You're seeing 4 games out of one line. Actually, you're seeing 5 games from one designer there on the left.
Yeah, no, but they are. But I might hate zombies, but like fantasy.
I get it. And again, I own every one of those Gameland games.
All right, well, before we go farther, because this is one of the closest ones so far, who did you all pick?
I picked Keymaster.
Keymaster.
I went Keymaster.
I picked Game One.
Chris picked Gameland as well.
And
first
Wendy
Not yet.
picked
It's the first
Keymaster.
one that hasn't messed up yet. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Keymaster is putting out better games.
I agree.
And again, the appeal. I mean, you can get them in Target.
Also,
you
they're-
can get them.
Yeah, their production is through the
there's
roof.
an appeal to
Yeah,
them.
they just it seems to me like Keymaster is in their small way elevating the game,
Yeah.
and I mean that like the game, like what we all do. I feel like Gameland Games is putting out neat stuff,
Oh!
but
That's pretty.
stuck in a rut a little bit. Maybe is that what it is?
Chris's
was-
bracket just got busted.
I was going to say that because I feel like Gameland Games, I think people have been a little disappointed in the last couple Tiny Epics as well. You know, they've been
I have
kind of
been.
polarized.
They're due for
You know?
a shake-up.
Right.
This is the first
is what it
one
is.
that I had to.
Polarizing, I should say.
This is the first one that I had to.
You busted your bracket. We get it.
No, this is the first one that I had to wait to write the answer down, and it's the first one so far that of my artificial seeding, I was incorrect. The one that I thought would be higher lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I seeded game one higher than Keymaster.
Okay.
Wait, you had to wait to write your answer down? You're doing it?
No.
He's not
I did
doing
the
that.
initial seeds. I gave everyone a certain rating on how high they would be seeded,
got
and
it.
randomized those. And
I
here
see.
I seeded game one higher than
Okay.
Keymaster.
Keymaster.
So
Yeah.
go figure. All right.
All right.
Oh,
Our next matchup here is against one of the smallest companies on this
This is
list.
so tough for
against
me.
one of the biggest.
This is so tough. for me.
Direwolf with the Clank, Game of Thrones, Dune Imperium against Pegasus, who is huge. We're showing you 5 Pegasus games there. We could show you 50. It's a really interesting thing, but at the same time, there's Dune Imperium.
I picked Direwolf for 2 games. That's it.
the Clank Dune?
Clank and Dune. That's
Yeah.
the only reason I picked those. I picked Direwolf. I mean, Pegasus, like you said, I mean, they've got so many games. But I picked
Crazy to
Direwolf
me.
because
That's
of that.
crazy. Direwolf, I mean, even just the ones you could muster up on the screen are so
Right.
uneven for Direwolf. No way do I pick them. It's Pegasus.
I personally would pick Pegasus, but for this, I put Direwolf.
My
because
goodness, they've
those
just come
games
out.
are juggernauts, and you're talking about games that excite people. Now, if we're going off of your metric, because I didn't think about it that way when I was doing this, or maybe it was Tom's. Of if these 2 publishers were putting out a game today, what would make you most excited? That's not how I made my list.
I get that.
Well, that's how I'm talking.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that's not what I was thinking when I made my list.
I've not yet written the finalist
It's
down
close,
yet.
huh?
What do you got?
But if you look at, I gave it the nod to Pegasus because I think if you look at that, people are excited about Dune. And again, it's in my top 100. I really like that game.
Spoiler.
You know, my top 100 last year, maybe not this year. But
You hate it.
But yeah, it's trash. But I think people are excited for that
my gosh.
game, whereas Pegasus, they get excited for the company.
Roy's already bouncing and circling something, so he must be happy with Direwolf winning.
You know what I picked?
I do know what you picked.
You obvious.
You obviously picked. And someone brought up a good point, although it should not apply to this at all, is that Direwolf makes some of
close.
the best digital games that are out there. But Direwolf
That is the
Okay.
closest
That
vote
is
by far.
so-
That's
Oh.
crazy to
And
me.
that is surprising, I think.
Really?
Because of company.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
But again, this is also Direwolf is the closest one that almost didn't make the list because of the games size they have. But this is why we didn't put Cephalfair on the list because they have Gloomhaven. Doesn't matter that they also
Right.
have founders of
Right.
Gloomhaven.
Right.
They have
Yeah.
Gloomhaven, and we would have been voting on Gloomhaven.
Right. I unfortunately
I
think
feel like we are voting on Dune. I'm
That's what I'm
sorry.
saying.
We are.
that was,
Yeah,
that was
you
what I
are.
was going
Well,
to say.
you know what
Clank
though?
and
I
Doom.
can't help that because so many companies are associated with one game.
We need to vote on. We need to vote on Oathbreaker. I don't know. That's a wild upset for me.
Yeah, that's,
Bracket buster.
Oh, you got busted. I love it.
it didn't
I love
bust
him.
my
All right,
bracket.
our
Z might as well
next,
quit now.
our next matchup here, we have the Uwe Rosenberg Company.
I have zero
Lookout
confidence in
Games
this pick.
against Thunderworks. Now this one I'm curious on because again, you got Agricola and the Caverna beast, but then how many people do you don't talk about cartographers? It's
Telling you,
insane.
this depends on who's in the chat. To me, I mean,
Well,
it really does.
I like to give you a hint.
I
They
get it.
all depend on who's in the
They
chat.
do, but this one is one of the starkest. I really wrestled with this
Well,
one.
tell me who you picked.
I picked Thunderworks. I
Yeah.
would personally probably go
No?
Lookout because they've got such a huge history of great games. But Thunderworks right now is one of the hottest board game publishers there is.
But I think
Yeah.
the important word you said there is history. I think Lookout, and I'm not saying they're not currently doing good games. That's not what I'm saying. But you look at that, and they look and they kind of feel like older games, you know. But
do.
When
Well,
when you heard about Tenpenny Parks, there was so much buzz behind it.
Yeah.
When you heard about cartographers, there was so much buzz. When you heard about the new cartographers,
I
so
know,
much buzz.
I know.
think
That's why I
Thunderworks
picked
people
Thunderworks.
are
I don't
behind
know.
that company.
I think there was
why
a
I
lot
picked
of
it.
buzz behind Tenpenny Parks, and that's gone. I like that game, but that buzz is gone.
But again-
you could still. People talk more about Agricola, which is how many years old now,
85.
than the other games all combined from the other company. I mean, there's no way. If we're voting on the one game, and I know it's
18.
Clank and Dune, people, I get it. It's just I was being hyperbolic. But you all are incredibly dumb. Again, I'm being hyperbolic. I don't mean
He
it.
means you're slightly dumb.
No, I have to go with. I got to go with Lookout on this one.
Well, let's look.
The Uwe Rosenberg Juggernaut.
It is Lookout.
Right.
Okay, I was wrong.
Lookout. I was wrong on that one too.
What did Chris say on that
He
one?
said Lookout.
You went Lookout.
Lookout, man, all the way across.
Chris is doing quite well. He's only missed once, right?
He's missed once, yep.
But
The first round means nothing. First round means nothing.
But he's voting though.
Chris put all together all the pictures.
Oh, he cheated. I see. Okay.
Oh, is Chris voting?
Well,
Yeah,
assuming he's in the
right
chat, so
Right.
he's probably
He's probably
can
voting.
vote.
All right.
If that's the case,
And he
his,
probably has
Viewing
fake
it.
accounts galore.
his
Oh my
bracket is now
gosh.
invalid if
All
that's
right,
the
our
case.
next one has both have war, but one is real and one is fake. So we have Osprey games.
What?
Who? Well,
It's Space War and Real War.
yes, we have Osprey games against Galeforce 9.
Yeah.
So Osprey games actually they do other things. There's Wildlands and stuff. They're not most. They just have some war games like Undaunted, London, Cryptid. Galeforce 9 is all about intellectual
Right.
properties.
And big intellectual
Man,
properties.
this one's a tough one.
This is one where I went against my personal choice. And it's a pretty...
Well, your personal choice is obviously Osprey.
Why is it obviously Osprey?
Because I know what games you like, and you like Wildlands, and you
That's
like
true.
Undaunted, and
That's
you
true.
like, I don't know if you like that crap game London, but you might like
He
it.
sucks at
London,
Cryptid, I'll tell you that much.
And I like Cryptid. I am terrible at Cryptid, but I like it. Yeah, I
You went with Galeforce 9?
I picked Galeforce 9, although that's not my choice.
I went with it before I looked at these slides. I think now, looking at the slides, I'd be like, no, I'll give it to Osprey. Those are not good-looking games. I'm sorry. Dune, they reprinted Dune. Cool. The rest of it...
Firefly is
Tyrants of
very
the
popular.
That's
It
the
is.
only
It
one.
is.
The only
No,
one.
Star Trek Ascendancy has very strong fans.
No, I call it Star Trek Crapscendancy.
Well,
In my house, that's what it's
No.
known as. Okay?
This is
I
not
use it as
helping us with that situation.
I use it as a big toilet.
Well, as well as, I mean, they're known for that theme and that thematic and those energizing moments in games, right? Like that really good theme integration to the
Yeah.
games.
That is the main thing they do.
Right.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm
Well,
not
it's
into
true. Osprey
Osprey.
did also do Imperium, I think.
All right, well, let's see who has this
Oh,
one.
that's theirs.
Wow, this
Osprey
is not even
whoops up on
close.
Galeforce
Dang it.
9.
Fine. I should have, switched it real
I'm
quick.
What, did you pick Galeforce 9?
No, I like Galeforce 9 better personally, but you're right, their games are okay.
Wow. I should have just
That
gone
was
with
interesting.
what I
I thought
liked
that would be a
better.
closer matchup.
I
All
should
right.
have just gone with what I like.
Well, this next
You're the
one.
voice of the people.
I guess.
Okay,
yeah.
for these next matchups, they are what they are. We have one of the biggest companies and oldest companies in the world going up against a much smaller company. Although they're pretty popular, but just with a different group. So we have Ravensberger.
Hello.
Yeah, look at that. Puerto Rico, horrified, against Blue Orange. Now, don't get me wrong, Blue
Burgundy,
Orange has
okay,
King
done.
Domino, Photosynthesis, and very popular games. I just, like, I'm thinking our crowd might think Blue Orange is too light.
Yeah.
Also, Ravensberger is a juggernaut. I mean, they straight up are.
Okay, I feel like Chris put Strike up there to troll me.
I think you're right. I think
Because I
Chris,
could probably
Chris putting these slides together has an unfair advantage. I am right now
think
invalidating his list.
Rip it up. Rip it up.
Bring in. No, we
I'm
had
va-
this taken before.
I officially invalidate the list.
Are you the judge?
Well, for this list, I am. Yeah, I went with Ravensberger.
Well, again, I think people look at Blue Orange games for right or wrong as a kid game company.
Right, yeah. I mean, you
They
see
are
it.
a family game company.
Yeah,
at
you
least.
see Blue Orange, you think kid, you don't think photosynthesis.
Right.
Or I would say me specifically.
I think that used to be a thing. I don't think that's true anymore.
Really?
I think a few years ago, absolutely. I think now, no. Family company for sure, but not a
Yeah.
kids company.
Maybe not even kids. I'd say family. I guess
Yeah,
that's what
like
I would say. Yeah.
King Domino, right? That's their
Right.
big.
That's
That's
kind of
their
what
big
I was,
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I got Ravensberger. Actually, Wendy went with Blue Orange on this one. So one of the two of us is going to be super wrong. And you know what? I have the pen. It's not going to be me.
That's correct.
It's not going to be me.
All right, well, let's see.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's a.
That wasn't as much of a stomp. Again, people like a lot of.
No, I mean, and King Domino won the spiel. I mean, there's some very popular games from Blue
I think
Orange.
Castles of Burgundy alone on that thumbnail is like
It's rough,
People
yeah.
love Castles of Burgundy.
Although
I know
next year,
you love it.
If we do this
so
in the
much.
future, who has
Love
Castles
the
of Burgundy?
Awaken Realms.
Awaken Realms.
With miniatures plus
minis.
Feld.
Yeah, they have little.
Oh my goodness.
You put minis of Stefan Feld all over your board.
Oh my goodness.
Wait,
They're
someone
18
voted
feet tall.
Ravensberger in the
That's
chat
it.
because of Disney Lorcana. It's not even out yet. Come on now.
No,
All
but that's the next big one.
Yep.
Calling it. I'm buying stock in that.
All right, the next matchup we have one of the great old company, not old, but I mean, they were known for a while. Solid Games, Days of Wonder,
Oh
Ticket
my
to
gosh.
Ride, up against Grey Fox Games, the champions in Midgard. I don't see Last Light on there.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
out.
gonna make it lose.
I'm
It's
sorry.
not out yet. If Last Light was out, this could all be different.
I'm
but-
sorry, Roy, but this is a bloodbath.
I know. I voted with you.
This is a
Rising
blood.
5, I think, is a great game.
Yes. And
they
Deception.
republished this. This came out from a different company before.
Right.
Run Fighter Dice, same thing. They republished.
Yeah.
Deception.
I say, people love that.
They do a lot of picking up and republishing.
They do. They do.
Days of Wonder doesn't do that. They have an incredibly consistent look,
Yeah.
feel for the most part.
They also have that. They've got that model of they're going to put out a game a year.
Yes, they're going to put
know what I mean?
care into what they do. Are you going to like them all?
Right.
No. But they do it with care, and I really like that. Their philosophy, which is sort of gone at this point, but that idea of making a grown person feel like a child again, the
Yeah.
Days of Wonder,
So
they
true.
really nailed that for a long time with Shadows over Camelot
Oh,
and
yeah.
Ticket to Ride, Memoir, playing with toy soldiers. I mean, they really did that well.
And if you're interested in what our thoughts are on the newest Days of Wonder game called Heat, Pedal to the Metal, keep your eyes out this weekend.
Yeah.
Wink.
All right, let's see who won that one.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I love that you voiced Wink as well.
Wink.
That's my favorite
It's
part of that. Wink.
Wink.
Roy, we said Last Light, and Roy got caught up.
Yeah,
on
no,
it.
he's distracted.
Yeah, I think that was
Blank.
That is a
yeah,
blowout.
not
That's a
even
blowout.
close.
That is a blowout.
Correct.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right, we're in the final 16 games here from round one. We have here Capstone Games, the hottest Euro game company out there right now, at least in America, against R&D Games, Richard Breeze.
Basically Richard Breeze.
This
This is a blowout.
I think it's
You
a
think this is
blowout.
a blowout?
I think so.
Blowout.
Blowout. Absolutely.
Days.
I don't know.
No, it's a blowout. I like Keyflower. And there's about 17 versions of it that I can choose from, but I do like Keyflower. And then you've got Capstone, who is basically like the heavy Euro company right now.
Yeah. It depends how much people like Richard Breeze. That's what it is, right? I mean, that's kind of what it comes
Keith
down
Edger
to.
was very, very popular.
Yeah.
It's almost like a company versus a designer.
Person. It really is. Yeah, it kind of
Okay,
is.
that's really true.
Yeah. And
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as big a blowout. What are you predicting here?
I'm predicting 80-20.
I'm going to go 65.
Wait,
You don't
do you
have
see
to
the
pause
poll?
anymore. If you say
Wow.
65, you know the other answer.
Yeah, I think 60. I was debating between 60, 40, or 65.
Come on, you should go higher than both of
So,
them.
really? I was
Yeah.
going to go 75-25, but
Oh my God!
You got got. As a matter of fact,
Yeah,
Z, I'm validating your list now, too.
That should
I mean, I
break
definitely I picked Capstone. Don't get me wrong.
You might have. I
Yeah.
hope that it looks like Capstone's gonna have a nice push into the
We'll
next
find out.
brackets.
We'll
Let's
find
see.
out.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Next matchup here, we have the very popular newer company Roxley Games up against Alley Cat Games. Both of them kind of have their own little shtick going.
They've got a
Roxley,
shtick.
though, has Brass Birmingham, which is going to be hard. But even if they didn't have Brass Birmingham, having dice. What's it?
Dice Throne.
Dice
You
Throne.
can never remember
Yeah,
Dice
Oh,
Throne.
Dice
Radlands,
Masters,
Dice
Dice
Throne,
Throne.
Santorini.
Yeah, yeah.
Roxley feels like a more careful company to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
They feel more deliberate. I think Alley Cat is putting out a lot of things. Some of them are good. Some are a little less than well finalized. We ran into some trouble with some of their
We did.
hospital spin-offs or whatever. They just they feel like they throw more at the wall and hope it sticks. Roxley feels incredibly deliberate. They have a look, they have a feel, they know
Yep.
what they're doing, they do it well.
And I think they put that energy into production. I mean, yes, it's not a Chip Theory Games or Eagle Griffin or something like that, but I think it has that same energy behind it when you get it, and you feel like you're getting a nice game. You don't question the production.
Right.
I feel like with Roxley, and that's what they've built. They're deliberate, one in the designs, the games they produce, but also in that actual production, and that comes through. And I think because of that, they're a beloved company.
Also, just to kind of back up your point of being very deliberate and thoughtful, Brass was a game that was well respected, right?
Yeah.
It was definitely well respected, but their production has launched that game into the stratosphere.
It wasn't even close.
They've launched it into the stratosphere.
Brass for the top.
Now it has become a juggernaut, and I think it's largely because it's
another
solid
blowout
design,
there.
but that production is just ridiculous, right? So,
all right. Our next matchup here. Where are we at? We have. Wait, I made the poll wrong again.
no!
What are you doing? It really
You didn't put it
won't
up, did
matter,
you?
honestly.
No, I always wait and I always double check. All right, so the first of these,
It's already up there, just so you know.
Garfield Games. Hang on, I gotta get this poll done. Talk about the two companies.
All right, well, I hesitate to talk too much before the poll goes up.
You love Garfield Games. Why?
This is not even close to me.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to be close here that Indie Boards and Cards includes Stronghold Games.
Oh, wait a minute. Still not even close.
Well, okay, I know you say that.
I know.
I know you say
Terraforming
that.
Mars is right there.
Terraforming Mars.
Aeon's
Mars
End.
and Aeon's End. Come
Aeon's
on.
End, man. Okay, it's not just Dune, it's Dune and Clank.
You're
Well,
asking me.
again, people are going to vote for the game, and if they vote for the game, you have to nod to Indie. But I
first
went
line?
Garfield.
You're asking me
because-
my preference. It's even.
No, I
agree
know.
with you.
I know what your preference is.
I also picked Garfield for the poll because I just think that right now they are pretty much on fire. I mean, what's the last game they put out that was not well received?
Oh, I know. Shipwrights.
Yeah, that was like how many years ago? That was his first major game, right? Indie Boards and Cards is more inconsistent. They've got some heavy hitters. There's no question. They've got some huge games. Garfield also is one of those companies that engenders a lot of passionate fans.
I think Indie has a lot of heavy hitters. They also have some forgettables. You know,
Oh,
and
no.
Garfield,
Let's be clear. They have some
kind.
absolute trash.
Yeah,
This
but
is
I think,
close. See,
I'd
this
nod
is
into
much
Garfield
closer.
as well.
Fairly close, yeah. I think a big part of it is those couple of games up
Terraforming
there.
Mars.
Terraforming Mars, Aeon's End, people like it a lot.
Yeah.
But no, I think you're right. And again, this one is kind of a person versus a company.
It kind of is.
It's just this person, a designer, who runs the company as well, just keeps delivering games that if you know you like one or two of them, you're probably going to like the rest.
Right.
I wonder if
Yes.
Bonacor was still with Stronghold. Stronghold was separate, where they would rank right
I wonder.
now.
Yeah, that would be,
Interesting.
I think, a tighter race.
Nah, we'll see. All right.
This was tough for me, this one.
We
I
have
hated
Board
this
and
one.
Dice with the T games. You can see Teotihuacan, Tekenu, Tletum against Plaid Hat with Summoner Wars, Forgotten Waters, Dead of Winter. Oh my word, these are very different companies with very different fan bases.
This is so tough. This was
man.
so tough.
Okay, for me on a personal level, it's not even hard. Plaid Hat, boom, I'm done. It's not even
Well,
close.
you're like your
For me,
favorite game.
if I'm picking for me, yes, I am going
But I
against
think-
them on this.
I am too.
Yeah.
Board and Dice.
Yeah.
You guys were saying Capstone is the heavy Euro game company to beat. I think Board and Dice could beat them.
Maybe.
They keep putting out these
Roy, who'd you
big,
pick?
heavy games.
I thought it was really close, actually.
I did too.
But I went with Plaid Hat because I like them more.
I went with
See,
Board and Dice.
I'm voting against
I
myself.
might be wrong.
I
You're wrong.
absolutely.
I can agree that I could be wrong because I think it's close.
This is going to be really close.
But also, I should find the poll.
Don't even worry about it. Just say you're
Yeah.
wrong.
What did Chris pick?
I need to say I'm right.
Chris picked Board and Dice. Chris
Oh, I
loves
need to
Board
be
and
Chris.
Dice.
Come on.
But that would be his as well. But
Yeah.
I personally would have gone Plaid Hat.
What did
Like,
you pick?
absolutely. But I went Board and Dice because I think the T games.
Roy's
You hear the
excited.
T
Apparently
games.
Are you
Plaid Hat.
kidding me?
Really?
Roy, can you have a better poker face over there?
Wow.
I don't have
Wow.
I am proud.
I'm very
I'm proud. I am so happy to be
Again,
wrong
not
on
that I
this
don't
one.
like Board and Dice. I'm just glad to see
Finally,
Plaid Hat.
up on Chris.
Yes!
I'm very
I am
surprised by
I
that.
am
This is a big surprise.
happy
to
to
me.
be
I knew it was going to be
wrong.
Was that a
close.
bracket break for Chris?
No.
Oh, really?
Nah.
Wow. That's interesting. I and Wendy are both wrong.
All right.
That one is surprising to me.
Okay, I feel really bad here. I'd like to talk about Thames and Cosmos for a brief moment.
Yeah.
Thames and Cosmos, what a company they are. Look at that, The Crew, Exit, Lost Cities, also Stonemaier Games.
This is now we talked about this, and I'm not trying to influence, but this was the one company where I thought, are people going to be voting against them? Because as many people that are passionate about Stonemaier Games, also, there's a lot of people that are pretty vocal. Oh, I hate Wingspan. I'm sick of Wingspan. You know what I mean?
Yes, I noticed it sold 1 million copies. So I'm pretty sure people.
I know.
Here's the thing. Forgetting the negative stuff. Lost Cities and The Crew.
Oh, there's great games.
Targi. Those are really solid games. I really like Thames and Cosmos a lot. And
me too.
I felt a little sad when I saw this was their opening thing here.
Yeah.
But that is how it works.
I agree. I feel about them the way I do about Pegasus. I think they do a lot. They're for a big company. They do not do crap.
Right.
They haven't lost their way in the giant machinations that must be part of running something that big. I think they put out great games.
Yeah.
But yes, Stonemaier is generally beloved.
Yeah, many people have picked Stonemaier to go all the way, but I don't know. Also,
nobody knows.
That was not as big of a blowout as I thought it would be.
No, I'm telling you, I do think there are some people.
But again, they put out some great games. All right, 6 games left. We now have a company that puts out a lot of.
In the first round.
Yeah, round 1. Yeah, but the second round you don't have to go into as much detail. Matago against another company that has a very distinctive type of game, and that's Genius Games. So we got science games up against, well, not science.
Right. Now I will say.
Now in Matago, I think we're including Colossal in there because they distribute Colossal games. That's why Western Legends is on the list there.
Yeah. Genius Games, this is another one like Academy that I really admire.
Restoration.
I respect.
They have a thing.
They definitely have a thing, and they do it well. Those are all games that are quote-unquote educational type games that are legitimately fun to play. They're really good games.
Really good mechanisms behind them.
That being said, Matago to me is a pretty clear choice.
I nodded against my personal choice as well.
Really?
I absolutely would have gone Genius Games for my personal taste and what I would be excited about coming out, but I gave a nod to Matago just again because the titles they brought out, the theme they brought out, the excitement behind their games.
I went with Genius on this.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I like Matago better. Actually, I might not have played a Genius game yet. I try to avoid anything that might elevate my personal
You're already there.
intelligence quotient.
All right, let's take a look.
Matago, I thought Genius Games might get that sort of darling vote. But you know what, darling?
Nah.
All right, now we have a one-man company up against one of the biggest companies.
So did Wendy, actually. She also had Genius.
Okay.
We have Red Raven Games, Ryan Lockett, who does almost everything. Not quite. His wife seems to do a lot of it now. And also he has some other designers. Up against Avalon Hill. I want to be clear again. I said this at the beginning, but this is the new Avalon Hill, not the old Avalon Hill who did all those old war games. We're talking about the ones you see here. Risk Legacy, Acquire, Nexus Ops, Vegas Showdown, Robo Rally.
96 to 4%.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be that big of a blowout. I think it might be in the upper 80s.
You know, a lot of people got in the hobby with these Avalon Hill games. I think you might be underestimating them.
Yeah.
But
90-10. I'll go that far.
But then they're voting for nostalgia, not for current excitement. Red Raven's running a Kickstarter. Boom. How many backers notify me as soon as it launches?
I'm saying,
you know?
yeah, but what if Avalon Hill runs a Kickstarter?
On Pulse?
Oh, no. I shot my own argument.
I'm back up to 95.5.
I'm going to tell you, well, I'll wait till we're done with our last matchup before I say something. Red Raven. Okay, so it didn't get to the 90s.
My bracket
here we go.
is
Hold on.
Nah, didn't get to the 90s.
It could change.
We're not moving on until I get 90-10.
I'm also invalidating Z's list for a third time.
For a third time?
I'm back on then, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Off, on,
Double
off
negative.
again.
You're off again.
I got it.
All righty. Well, all right. The last companies here, they both have 4 letters in
Curious
their name.
about this, guys. I think... I don't know. I'm worried.
The thing I said about Stonemaier applies to this too.
Okay, let's see.
We have ZMan Games.
Okay.
I don't think I need to talk about them a lot. You know their games. Against Haba. Now, Haba is mostly known for kids' games. We have a couple shown there, but they have about 200 more, and that's not... I'm not exaggerating when I say 200.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're just
but they've also gotten to more modern games. The most popular currently is probably Karuba.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of them out there. So,
yeah, this is another one like Stonemaier where there are a lot of people that love to hate ZMan as well. But you look at their Kickstarter
numbers.
campaigns, every one of them are over $1 million.
I don't like when people vote against companies.
I don't
Boo
either.
to that.
Right.
Every one of them are over
I
$1
mean,
million.
All those people that hate on ZMan, still mosey over and check out the Kickstarter.
They absolutely
You know
do.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they still
right.
well, I'm not going to back it, but I'm going to go see what they're offering.
in
Like,
my opinion, I don't love every
that's-
CMON game by any means,
Right.
but they're not just a miniature.
That's a lot of votes for Hava.
I'm really surprised by that because you tell
Yeah.
me a Hava's coming out and I'm thinking, oh, okay, is it too young for my kid?
Yeah.
Because he's getting older now. So that's really surprising. It's so close.
So now that we've gotten through
There's
this
a lot
first
of
round,
love for Hava.
Well, here's what we do.
Yeah.
Instead of counting the points, just
no,
count the ones you miss and
No,
subtract from 32.
I will, but I'm not
No.
going to even count till the end. All I was going to say was now that we've gone through the first round, you consider these 4 kind of like quadrants. This bottom right quadrant was the heavy hitters to me. Like this was a brutal one for me to do. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
All right.
It's going to be interesting to see where the matchups are. I'll tell you this. We're going to see more upsets in this one because these are much
Probably.
closer,
Yeah. Right.
I think.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So how many did Chris end up missing? Only 2?
He missed 2.
How many did you miss?
I missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Whoa.
Well, I'm not worried.
I missed-
all the points are in the farther rounds.
That's true. That's true. But if you
Yes,
get
that is
more
true.
right in the first round, you have more chance of getting
You
more in the
do.
second round.
You do, but
All right.
it's really mostly about
All
that,
right,
these
Roy,
other
it's
rounds.
number 1 against number 3 here. Number 1 against number 3 for our first matchup. And that's going to be AEG against ZMan Games. So this is a very interesting matchup to me.
This is, yeah. Now I'm looking at.
I'm going to talk
these,
about this on a personal level.
Oof, I'm looking at these.
I
Slides
like
wishing-
AEG because, yes, they have some games I don't like, but when I love one of their games, oh, I love it.
Yeah, I picked AEG for this, and I'm really worried now looking at these slides.
I went Z-Man on this one.
But you like
too.
Pandemic, though.
I do, but I think a lot of people do. I think they, you could look at AEG and say, yeah, but they take bigger risks. They put out sort of stranger things. Paleo is a strange kind of game
Yeah,
that could definitely fit
I
the
love
AEG
Paleo.
brand.
Yeah,
But Z-Man also does, yes, Pandemic Legacies. Those are juggernauts.
Yeah.
Those are incredible games.
yep.
I don't know.
This one's tough, man.
It is tough. They're both incredibly good. Z-Man gets the nod from me.
I think AEG has had more recent titles. I'm really surprised by that. I went
Yeah.
AEG.
All right, let this sit here just for a few minutes because that's pretty close.
Yeah, that's 30 votes, but
I think AEG
30.
has had more
I think
recent titles, and that's what
30
kind
out
of
of
pulled me in
180.
there.
I don't know. I think this one's. Sorry, and I'm
Yeah,
picking against
no, no,
myself.
no.
I'm out there.
I picked AEG.
What
but
did Chris pick?
Chris also picked AEG,
Interesting.
and he busted his bracket. He had them going the whole way. I'm lying. All right.
Okay, now the next matchup I think will be less close, but who knows?
Who knows? Because you
We
got
got
Lacerda.
number 6 against number 8, and that is Eagle Griffin Games against Leader Games.
I don't know, guys. This is...
I picked leader on this one.
Now, this is a good matchup. These appeal very much to sort of the same folks.
Right. Heavy.
I don't know.
gamers.
No.
Yeah.
They're adjacent.
Leaders
but there are a lot
aren't
of people
really
who like, for
Euros.
example, Root, who wouldn't play on Mars, and
Right.
vice versa.
I mean, honestly,
There's more conflict than Leader.
Root is more of a war game. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
but
guess so, but they're both heavy games, right?
They
I mean,
are, yeah.
they're
weight-wise,
crunchy
yes.
companies, generally speaking.
Yeah.
I might have gone wrong here. I went Leader, but now
I
I'm
did too.
wondering if Lacerda, with all the big, epic, fancy games, wouldn't get the nod.
But again, this is one where Eagle Griffin. I believe they're only up there because of those Lacerda games. Period. For sale,
But
has a lot of.
that's legit. That's
I know.
almost all they do anymore.
I
I would disagree. I think that they're also up there because the production that they bring behind those Lacerda titles.
Right, but they're
You know?
only on his games. They're not giving that kind of production to For Sale. You know what I mean?
That's
it's
true.
Only those games.
But even the ones that are not, that are still known and loved.
I mean,
For Sale is a fantastic
have you seen
game.
Football Highlights? That
I
game's
realize
not getting
that
the
was
same
that-
kind of
I realize that
production
was
as on Mars.
All right, well, let's
Yeah.
see. I'm actually
But I
don't know
went
who's
Eagle.
winning this.
I went
Who
Eagle.
is ahead?
You went Eagle?
I did,
You
but
went
I was
Leader.
Oh, no! Come on!
Bracket bust.
That's
it?
brutal.
Is it?
I got AG and Leader wrong, so I'm no matter what, I'm
Wow.
dead there.
That's pretty close, though. That's a
That
pretty
messed
close
up.
vote.
That messed
Yeah.
up Chris too.
Hey, I thought Leader was also going to win.
yeah, this is crazy to me.
I went with Leader on this.
I
Yeah.
went Eagle, but I was nervous because I was like, I felt like I took a
That's-
gamble.
That messes me up for a little bit.
But I
messed me
chose them to go pretty far.
messed
So
me
that's
up.
That being
so I
said,
went
I
back.
had them both in the same They were both in the same seating.
Yeah, me too. I got that whole one wrong.
All right, number 10 versus number 12 here. We have
see
Pandasaurus against Plan B Games.
I think my argument from earlier stands that Pandasaurus is just shooting for the moon
I
right now.
agree. I agree. I picked Pandasaurus because I think that they are one of the hottest publishers right now. They're on the upswing. I'm not saying Plan B is not, but they're more level. You know what I mean? Whereas Pandasaurus is just like, I'm sorry, we saw that Pandasaurus booth at Essen. It was slammed.
They sold
Now,
out
a lot
of,
of
like,
booths were slammed, but
everything.
my goodness,
Right.
that booth.
Yeah.
People were running to that booth.
I feel like Plan B is probably getting played more right now because Azul, because Centuries, Great
Yeah,
Western. I mean,
maybe.
some of those are getting more table time, but I think the excitement behind it, both personally and right now, I think more people hear Panda and are like, I'm behind that. I want
Great
that.
Western
that.
Trail is
It's
strong.
a juggernaut.
It is, but I think Pandasaurus just has some great things coming out and has that backing behind it. People are excited about that name.
Yeah. Looks like
Myself included, but
looking at the
apparently it's
chat, looks like Plan B
we're
is going to
all
wreck
wrong.
it. Yeah, my
so,
goodness. I've
all
got to
right.
stop picking with what I would pick.
Wow.
Wow, I'm okay.
I had Plan B.
All right. Oof.
All right.
I'm not doing so
It's
hot.
not looking good now.
I'm not doing so
This
hot.
does not look
this
good.
second
More.
round.
Yeah, I'm not either.
3 letters against 3 letters here. Now we have, this is 14 and 16, Roy. We have FFG against CGE, or Fantasy Flight Games against Czech Games.
Yeah, I don't think this one should be
This-
close.
You don't think? Okay.
No,
Okay,
I
so I
don't.
don't know what people will vote for on these two.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, right now, it's not even close. If you said there's a new Fantasy Flight game, new CG, I'd be like, what does the CG game look like?
Maybe.
I really do.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Fantasy Flight has that staying power. There's no,
Yeah.
you cannot deny their grandeur.
Sure.
And you asked me, it's 10 years ago. Well, CG wasn't even out 10 years ago.
Yeah, neither one of these companies honestly excite me very much, but I get the sense that Fantasy Flight's gonna take this one. But again, I've
That's
been
who I-
literally wrong every single one of these this round.
That's who I go with is Fantasy Flight. I think Fantasy Flight is, yes, not what they used to be. That does not mean they're bad. It means they're kind of in between breaths right now, it feels like.
But
there-
again, code names, dude.
Yeah.
And there are still people that are,
Codenames is cute. That's cute.
and there are still people that are just now getting into Marvel Champions and just now buying. You know
Marvel
what I mean?
Champions, you're right.
I mean,
it's like Marvel Champions and
it's-
Codenames. And then we got Twilight Imperium and Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Yeah.
It's an interesting matchup.
Look, judging from Roy, there's going to be another upset here, and if so, this is
Not
a
an
huge,
upset. It's
Oh.
really close.
Are you
this-
kidding
I'm sorry,
me?
to me,
Against what I wanted.
Here we go.
That's right.
No. Come on,
This
Fantasy
is
Flight.
this is definitely a bracket buster for me.
Come
I
on,
did
Fantasy
I
not
Flight.
had
see
Fantasy
that
Flight
coming.
going to
Thought
the
they were gonna
finals.
lose against CG. CG
I-
is so hot.
I told you
Wow.
Fantasy Flight's not as hot as they once were. I've been
Come
saying
Come on,
it.
Fantasy Flight.
That completely
Tom,
destroyed.
how long can we leave this up there?
He's like, I need to get my phone for a second. I need to sign in a different
How do
browser.
you get a different IP address?
I'm pretty much out of it
Wow,
now.
that whole
I had
thing.
them going to the finals.
Well, what did Chris pick?
Same thing. He had Fantasy
Well, then you're
Flight.
not out of it. No,
well,
because other people are out of it too.
yeah, but I don't know that everyone else took him to the
definitely.
finals.
That hurt.
Yeah.
That definitely hurt.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
Panda not winning really messed me up, and now also
I don't
CG.
know.
being-
right,
I wonder if people are being if they're being contrarian.
I don't
here.
think, no.
Yeah,
Again, I don't think
I'm
you understand how
wondering.
popular Arnak is
Arnak
right
is
now.
insane.
And
Arnak is it though. I mean,
no,
what
code
else?
names? Are you kidding me?
Are people still buying code names? Maybe they are. Maybe.
It's just
Yes, Mike. It's
Okay.
millions and millions.
All right, maybe.
All right. Anyhow.
What's code names?
I've never heard of it.
All right. We got the
Mine,
two
too.
old grandpas of the
Yeah.
board gaming industry, Queen Games and Rio Grande. In fact, they have published some of the same games. I'm trying to think which ones they've crossed over on.
Oh, really?
Yes, I forget which ones. Was it Alhambra, maybe? No, it wasn't Alhambra. There was a company that one of them worked with, and then the other one took it. I don't remember what company it was. But anyway,
know.
doesn't remember.
It's probably a Knizia game, I'll tell you that much.
That's probably true, right?
I don't remember though.
I'm still flabbergasted over that Fantasy Flight choice.
Oh yeah.
Here I'm
sorry,
going with
I went Rio Grande here.
well, I this is wrong already. I gave it to a Porta when it was Rio
okay.
Grande, but
I
I
did
would say
Porta,
between
too.
these two, I'd give it to Queen. I think I'd give it to
Yeah.
Queen between these two. They're a little more
Oh, did you
consistent.
vote for a Porta in this one too?
I did.
Against Queen?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
You thought they were going to go up to
Oh,
the
that's it. They got
final
crushed.
16?
They got crushed up to that.
Okay, yeah, that's how I did it as well. I did a Porta.
Yeah, I
Porta,
gave
and
it to
then-
them twice, and then they go
Yeah.
away.
All right, so
Yeah, Rio Grande. That's not even close.
Well, that's
Okay, well, I don't want to get
I
on.
was really wrong. I
I would
guess
have gotten it wrong either.
that name still, I guess, carries a
Again,
lot
the
of weight.
Dominion race for the galaxy,
Yeah.
and also Beyond the Sun's super hot right now.
It is. The sun is hot. Yeah.
All right. It's now France against Poland. This is 22 against 24. We got yellow against Portal Games.
Yeah, I'm stressing over this one. I picked one I think may not win.
Now I'm going to make you guys pick all the time because I've enjoyed the stress you all are going through.
I'm freaking out, man.
Do you feel better, Camille, about how badly they're doing?
I'm doing great.
No. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
yeah?
not feeling bad. I'm just
I was like, no,
feeling
but
like
well, 'cause I'm not doing great
I'm
either.
feeling like they're choosing wrong. That's
It's weird
all
'cause
I'm
I'm
feeling.
like backwards choosing mine, you know, kind of based on what I would have done.
Oh, make no
so it's
mistake, you're
weird.
backwards choosing. Your list is invalid.
I
No,
go
no.
with Portal here. The
I
whole way.
I'm in
chose-
Portal.
I chose
absolutely.
yellow, and I probably am going to be wrong, but I chose yellow.
I don't know. Yellow, again, they're both swinging off big games. Robinson Crusoe against King of Tokyo.
We were talking about support a little while ago. You were talking
Yeah,
about that Portal supporting their games. Talk about a difference of philosophy when you look at
That's
just
true.
that.
Right.
Portal is still putting out expansions to
Hiroshima
stuff.
Hex,
I
yeah.
mean, like Portal. Yellow just came out with the third game in the King of Tokyo line. How old is the original?
All I
And
need to
that's
do is
their big hit.
Yeah.
All I need to do is watch Roy, and I know that I'm already
So it's just,
bracket busted
again.
again.
The support isn't the same, I think, for their games, for what people
Right.
like from them.
And I think
Let's
because
see.
of that, it's
I'm
loved.
curious.
I'm not anymore.
That's,
Darn it.
Roy, come on. You got to work on your poker
How do you
face.
know what I picked?
I
Pull
can
that
tell.
screen up. We
told
can't
you
see
I
you.
did.
I heard you say Portal.
I didn't pick Portal.
You must have. I must have heard something. I don't know.
I picked yellow. I broke on that. I didn't get any points on that.
I also
Is it a
had
bracket buster?
well, I had them beating Rio Grande, so it's not good for me.
This is so fascinating. I like looking at these brackets here. All right. Next one, we have 25 against 27. Arcane Wonders against Lucky Duck Games. Now, this is an interesting matchup for
I have
sure.
no
hard.
confidence anymore.
I
I'm feeling
have
so
no
good going to this
confidence
now.
in
I
this
feel like
one.
I can't trust anything. And the up is down, left is right.
This one's hard because
I picked
feel
Awaken
like,
Wonder or Arcane Wonders.
Awaken
Wonders. I just put AW.
No, Lucky Wonders and Arcane Duck.
I put AW down.
I mean, I feel like this
Arcane
is tough. 'cause
Wonders.
Arcane Duck is a good name for a
Arcane Duck
company.
is a great
Arcane
name.
Duck, yeah.
Yep.
I'm giving the nod, and honestly, looking at the games up there, I'm not so sure, but I'm giving the nod to Lucky Duck here. But I don't know. Looking at just that, what's on the screen right now, I feel like Lucky Duck, maybe I favored them because they're a little more cutting edge in what they do. The stuff they put out, like that one coming out, the Dark Quarter.
Yeah.
That's
with
coming
them
out.
and
It's got
Van
some
Ryder.
tech in it. It's got
It
some
does.
great vibe, flavor.
Right.
They're very flavorful games. Arcane Wonders puts out some
Arcane Wonders,
juggernauts.
like
Well-
3 out of those 5 games were in my top 100.
Yeah, they're like
Right.
boom.
Well, I
It's
feel
a
like Arcane Wonders is hard because some of them, as Tom said, are handpicked for Dice Tower Essential.
Right.
So they're ones
Well,
that we stand
again,
behind.
that just means
not
I'm
saying-
handpicking them
Right.
as opposed to
Right.
Yeah.
the guy who owns
it's-
Lucky Duck.
Right.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, we know they're good games, but I feel like where I gave the nod to Lucky Duck is because that innovation that we see, and it's coming out with Lucky Duck, it's like, whoa.
You picked Lucky Duck, you say?
I did, yes. Oh, is
Got
that?
So did I,
it.
to be fair.
I picked Arcane
but then I
Wonders.
changed
We'll
my
find out.
mind when I saw you write something.
All right, let's see what we got here. I'm very
I think
curious.
it's.
Oh!
Whoa.
All right, well, Chris got that one wrong.
Wow.
Thankfully.
That upsets me as well. Not personally.
I'm so
upsets
sorry,
my,
Chris. Here it's
upsets my bracket.
It's like cheering for your loss.
Chris,
here.
I'm actively rooting against you.
All right.
Jeez,
Last one on this on part A, we got this will be an interesting matchup here. 29 against 31. We got Restoration Games
My whole bracket relies on this.
against Chip Theory Games.
It does?
Yeah.
Mine kind of does too, but it might be the other way, I wonder.
I picked Restoration.
Okay, me too.
Really?
I did.
You picked against your darling?
Look, I'm
Chip Theory
again,
is done. It's dead,
if-
okay?
if-
The
let me-
king is dead.
Let me put it to you
Long
this way,
live
Tom.
the
If
king.
I had picked the way that I think it should be, this would be a very different list. But no, I picked Restoration because look at that lineup there. I mean, those are some really, and well, they both are.
could that not be said for Chip Theory?
I mean, it's just so hard to say because Chip Theory has, again, lifestyle gamers, and not
Right.
everyone is on board with that. Whereas Restoration is very wide appeal. It
You're
taps into
right.
nostalgia.
Other than Dark Tower,
Right.
all their games are very easy to play.
Yeah.
And even Dark Tower's not that complicated.
No, it's just a little bit of a step up for sure. But
I don't know, though.
Chip
Chip
Theory has its
Theory.
fans.
oh gosh,
They
oh,
have their
God.
fans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Huge fan.
You
They're
get
fans
so,
of just that, too.
You get so excited about what comes out for it. I mean, when they had the, what was the scroll one? I'm going to show my video game ignorance here. The Elder Scroll, is that what it's
Oh,
called?
yeah,
Or something
yeah.
like that? I mean, just
What?
that.
Yeah,
Elder
they're
Scroll.
doing a Skyrim game.
They are?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's based off of the Too Many
I'm
Bones
changing
system.
my.
And again, people are excited about the IPs. Yes, it is a lifestyle, but
Whoa!
man,
That's what I'm talking about.
ooh, that upsets my bracket.
I
a
love that.
lot.
Bracket saver.
That's a bracket buster for
That
Chris.
is a buster
That
for
I did
me.
not expect.
Basically-
Wendy's left side of the bracket is dead.
So is Chris.
So is mine.
Chris's
So is
actually.
mine,
yeah.
yeah.
So is
Like
Chris's.
done. That's it. I don't have to check it anymore for a while.
All right, I actually
Yep.
seeded Chip
Ugh.
Theory higher than Restoration.
Wow. Okay.
So go figure.
Oh, that's painful.
Wow. My whole left is done.
There's one here that
Gosh.
still matters. That one.
yeah,
but
that's the way Chris is too. He has one he could still win on, but
wow.
that side of the
Wait.
bracket is wrecked.
I really wish I had done this because I would have picked CG over
How
FFG.
much are these worth each?
Right now they're worth 2, right?
No, that was the second. Oh yeah, we're still in the. No, we're in the.
We're in the second round. These are two. These are two.
2, okay.
First round. Yeah, second round. Sorry.
All right, let's go to the other side. We have Awaken Realms against Repos Games.
Well, I didn't have Repos coming out, but I had Awaken Realms
Yeah.
winning over them.
So we got Awaken Realms with the juggernaut. I'm sorry. Wow, that just really reverberated there.
You're
But
so loud.
we have Seven Wonders too.
Yeah. No, I mean this is. I don't think going to be a runaway, but
Well, that was a terrible, terrible round for me.
that was rough, man. I got
Jeez.
just shellacked.
What do we got,
Yeah,
guys?
that
What are we
was-
looking
Awaken
at?
Realms is what I'm picking for this one.
Awaken Realms versus Repos.
I had Awaken Realms.
Time for Repos to wake up, smell the roses.
If you were picking the
they're
most
crushed.
entertaining booth people, then you'd go with Repos. Otherwise, you're
That's
going
true.
with Awaken Realms.
They're my favorite booth people
yeah.
ever.
Yeah, they're fun.
Oh, I don't know that.
No.
Yeah, you saw
Sporty
them. Remember,
Kids
they
are
were
pretty close.
They were the guys riding around the
You
tricycle.
like that?
I
Oh, I
love it.
hate it so
With
much.
the green bodysuits.
I
You're voting
was,
against them from now on.
I was trying to find something to pop those tires. I hated that freaking thing.
You don't like Halloween when
Oh
people...
my goodness! Are you kidding me?
What?
It was 50-50.
Are you kidding
No,
me?
that is.
Wow!
I'm sorry. I'm calling shenanigans.
What are you calling shenanigans on?
I'm calling
People are voting
shenanigans.
against Awaken
No,
Realms.
people
I
like
think.
Seven Wonders and Seven Wonders Duel.
How many people do you think know that those are repost games?
We show them in the picture.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, as far as a company, if you hear something new's coming out from Repost, ooh, what is it?
Yeah.
Nobody does that.
I do not
First of
know.
all,
I
do
don't
that.
know our
I
audience at all.
I think we forget sometimes that Kickstarter hype is not the only hype. Board gaming hype also exists outside Kickstarter.
I disagree.
Do you want to go back and look at that slide and see
I-
what the 5 games against the other 5 games were? I mean, to me, this should not even be close. Look at this. Each one of those games on the left.
I'm telling you, I thought Awaken Realms would win too, but I'm not surprised because
Wow.
Seven Wonders and then the party game line is really strong.
I get it. I'm just,
Also, a lot of people
Wow.
won't touch Awaken Realms. Not that they're voting against it. They don't want to play those games. They
Right.
want to. They're going to pick. I mean, Z's not. If
Hey,
you were picking,
you watch your mouth. Okay, let's start there. Okay.
let me rephrase it another way.
Yeah.
The dummy Z.
Yeah. Okay.
I am-
Continue.
No, but I mean, you know what?
Man,
I have a
If I
question.
say there's a
Why
new
has that
Awaken-
game got a hole in the box?
Wow, I
am
could not.
flabbergasted.
I could not. Not personally, but actual number-wise,
Wow.
I flabbergasted.
Again,
and I
we
disagree.
gotta remember-
I so much disagree
We
with
got to
that.
remember,
Boom.
there's more than Kickstarter hype.
But again,
I
how many
understand
people
you're
get
saying
excited?
that, but you also didn't pick these. I have a feeling if you were picking these, you would have picked Awake. You would have.
No, I would have picked Awaken Realms. I'm saying that,
No,
but I'm not as blown away.
I am
Also,
shocked.
are we on the next one already?
Keymaster and Direwolf. Yes.
Yes. Let me put the poll in here. Keymaster against Direwolf.
I went with Direwolf again
Let's see,
because of
who
that
do I go with?
1-2 punch of Dune and Clank. That is really, really powerful. I had them getting wrecked by Awaken
I also
Realms
think a
in the
lot of
next
people
round.
were
Probably
brought in a
wrong.
hobby by Seven Wonders.
Yeah,
I'm
I
probably
get it.
wrong here, but I gave it to. Well, actually, I thought Direwolf was gonna bite it to
Right.
Pegasus, but I gave it to Keymaster again here. So, and I think I still would if this had been the matchup. I think it's just. I don't know. I think it's a better company with a better identity right now Those games up there, Eternal, Oathbreaker, that's a mess. They have Dune, they have Clank. Clank Legacy is huge. I know that's a really beloved one. It's not the same stride, you know what I mean?
I don't have any strong opinion here, but I think Direwolf will probably win it.
Probably will win it, yeah.
I picked Direwolf. My personal choice would be Keymaster, but I picked Direwolf. Yeah, it is. Okay.
All right.
I went. That one too.
Oh my goodness, I'm not doing so well.
This next one means nothing to me because I got them wrong, both of them, on the last one.
All right, so we have Lookout Games here. This is 41 to 43, Roy. Lookout Games going up against Osprey Games. This is another one that I don't think will be close.
I expect a blowout. Yeah.
I know that. I mean, Osprey is really on the ball these days.
Yeah.
Making
absolutely.
fantastic stuff, but it's Agricola.
Yeah.
Right.
Or Agricola, if you want to pronounce it that way.
Wow, I forgot about that. I thought it was
would've gone
Agricola for a long time.
Yeah. I gotta assume it's Lookout here,
Yeah,
and that matters.
You guys, the wind went out of your sails with that Awaken.
I feel like I've been punched in the gut.
I feel like because again, I don't want to belabor that, but I will. No.
And I will continue to say I think people vote on the games they like. And for example, we have an Awaken Realms game here right now, ISS Vanguard. I'm excited to play and go home. We've had it for weeks. And none of you all have touched it.
But if I call
Because
a friend,
you're playing it.
if I call a friend and I say, "Hey, I just got the new Awaken Realms game in," they're going to be over in like 5 minutes to play it. If I call and say, "Hey,
what
I
about
got
you?
the new Repo," well, same thing.
Also, you look at the...
But I'm saying you guys are. We all played the new Repos game, the party game. We played that
Which one?
The
That was facts.
fun facts. But here's the other thing too. I mean,
Facts,
again,
I hated it.
maybe I may be misreading our audience.
We're still going
but
back
like
on the
you
line.
go onto BGG and look at the threads, the amount of engagement
Look out!
on Awaken Realms games compared to a typical Repos production
Okay,
game.
but
is that
Theory also lost to
mostly
Restoration.
game rules questions?
It might be, actually. It might be. That's a
Chip
good
Theory
point.
also lost to Restoration.
They did.
I wonder if we've been going about this all wrong. The more
Oh, I've definitely been going about
new
it all
games,
wrong.
Tom.
Yeah, this is yeah.
Okay.
It's dawning on me. I'm
we
a
now
moron.
have 45 against 47, Ravensberger against Days of Wonder.
Talk about two classic, old school heavy hitters here.
This matters, guys.
This matters big for me, so that I don't feel like this was a complete waste of my time. But yeah, this is a tough one. I went with Days of Wonder on this.
I
just
went
think
Days of
I went
Wonder
Days of
as
Wonder.
well. This is going to be incredibly close, I
It
think.
is gonna
Puerto
be.
Rico, Burgundy.
there's a lot of crossover between
Eldorado.
the fans of these
Yeah,
publishers.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
I go. The reason why I went Days of Wonder is strictly consistency.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's like Days of Wonder.
Well,
have
they've had a couple
of,
bad years
I was
now.
getting ready. They had a couple of games that weren't as popular.
Name two.
The River.
Name
and
the other one.
And Deep Blue.
Yeah.
Those are the two, right?
two.
Other than that,
Actually,
they've been-
Yamatai did not.
Hey, you watch your mouth about Yamatai.
Yamatai
I said name
is-
two. They're right there. The River, Deep Blue.
Yeah.
Don't go looking for a third.
This is tough. I have a feeling I'm going to be wrong because I've been wrong about darn near everything on here, but I picked Days of Wonder.
I gave the nod that way too.
Let's
Here
see.
we go. Days of Wonder. Show me potato salad.
Hey! I can
got
restore my
one.
faith in humanity again.
Humanity.
Or at least the live chat.
All right, now this next matchup, I am very curious what will happen.
Me
because
too.
we have the most popular Euro game company out there, I think, which is Capstone Games, 49, against the most popular for production values, probably, or
Up
one
there,
of them.
up there, yeah.
And that's Roxley Games. That's 51, 49 and 51. So
Well,
Capstone,
Wendy and I voted. We both got to this point correctly.
Yeah, me too.
And we voted differently on this
Oh,
one.
I went Capstone on this.
That's where I'm
So
going.
did Wendy. I'm going Roxley on this one, and that
This-
might be.
This is a toss-up to me.
This might be folly merely because Arc Nova is up there,
Yeah.
and that's
Arc
a
Nova is-
huge
is-
thing
That's-
right now. I get it, but I just find Roxley more consistent, more fun. Obviously, for me personally, yes.
Well, you
if you
can-
tell me, one from one company, one from the other, I'm obviously more in the Roxley camp. It's more my kind of game.
Yeah.
But
I love both, except
you
for
know,
us.
throwing a dart at a board, assuming that that's covered with previous quality, you're more likely to hit good with Roxley than Capstone Games. It's a little more uneven, I think.
You do?
Yeah.
Well,
I
think they're
honestly,
on the ball lately.
Honestly, I disagree, and I prefer Roxley to Capstone. But one thing I think you can say about Capstone is they've had hit after hit after hit Euro games. They're just not always my favorite Euro games. I like a lot of what Capstone does. Some of them I think are a little heavier than I tend to like. But
Okay.
yeah, that was close though. That was close.
My personal taste would have gone Roxley. That's ones I would be excited about. But I think Capstone is just too hot right now.
You got.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, well. So much for my love of Plaid Hat. But they're now going up against Garfield.
Wait. Is it?
Yeah, 53 on 56.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I don't know.
Garfield Games against Plaid Hat. I know which one I like better, but
yeah, I mean,
I really love the Plaid Hat. To me, their games feel more different from other companies.
They do.
Garfield Games, I like Garfield Games, but if Capstone published them, I could see that happening. They're Euro games.
They're Euro games.
They are Euro games, yes.
But they are, I mean,
They're not never. No, I'm not talking forgetting production and the thing.
It's not even production. I mean, I think they do everything well. I mean,
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying I like Plaid Hat because they feel different.
They do. But yeah, when I hear a Plaid Hat game is coming out, I might pay attention to it. Oh, it's one of those CCG games. I don't care. If I hear Garfield games coming out, I'm pretty much sure I'm going to have some interest in it.
But it'd also be unique. I do feel that Garfield does well. You are excited, and it has a good reputation behind it of producing games that you know you're going to like if they're within your taste. But they do feel different at the same time.
No, I agree.
And so I think so. That's because of that.
I agree with that actually.
Also, I mean, if you're going to consider,
feel pretty similar. I also voted with them, but I think Plaid Hat. You say Plaid Hat, I'm like, ooh, interesting, because I see the places they've gone.
Yeah.
I might not like it. I might really enjoy it. Garfield, I know what it is. It's a worker placement game.
Is Garfield 1L or 2?
Yeah.
Garfield is.
Go to the slide because we got the logo up there.
Oh,
sorry, Ryan. I'm
2,
not
right?
to, like,
1, 2.
2 L's.
2.
Yeah,
okay, I have it right.
Okay,
all right. I'm feeling better about myself.
But personally, a Plaid Hat comes out, and I am more excited. But again, the theme behind it, the experience.
All right, I'd like to say a few nice words about Madigo here before they get their butts kicked.
You keep setting things up, Tom. The way this...
No, I'm sorry. This is Stonemeyer 57 against Madigo 59. I like Madigo a lot. And you know that I'm not necessarily always the biggest fan of Stonemeyer in some things, but holy cow, it's not even close.
I'm sorry, you look at that lineup,
I like Madigo's lineup, don't get me wrong, but that Stonemeyer lineup has Wingspan, Tapestry, and Scythe and Viticulture.
Right.
Those 4 are a powerhouse.
Absolutely. No, I agree. I mean, many of my favorite games are Stonemeyer games, so I chose Stonemeyer. On this one.
I did as well. So did Wendy.
Everyone probably chose that one, right?
I'm going 80-20 here.
That's 85. Oh, lower than I thought. Okay, all right.
I'm telling you,
I'm
this is
going
not...
to go 72-27.
These have not been quite blowouts.
73-26 is what I'm going to go, which is missing 1%, but it's in there.
All right, let me write that one down. That is Stonemeyer up.
This could be...
This next one,
could be big for me.
This one I went with my heart. I voted with my heart instead of my
we have, again, this is David and Goliath here.
It is.
We have Red Raven Games against ZMan.
I voted David here. Ryan Lockett can draw a pretty mean slingshot. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that I like... I like actually every one of those ZMan games. Zombicide not as much. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like what Ryan Lockett has done, obviously he has a team around him, but it's, a vision of from what I can tell, he and to some extent his partner as well. But I'm just so
right now, guys, if you ask me right now, I'd change my vote. And I'm not going to do that. But
yeah.
I think it's Red Raven too.
I
voted ZMan. But I think Red Raven, and I think maybe part of that is the general discontent that people have with ZMan at the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Red Raven seems to be able to do no wrong.
You want to talk about I'm sorry,
no, go ahead. We might say the
good guy,
same thing.
bad guy type of thing.
I was going to say.
Like Ryan Lockett is one of the most liked people in the industry, and Red Raven, and ZMan has looked as this kind of evil behemoth by some people.
And if ZMan makes it, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear anything else about Awaken Realms didn't make it because it's $200 games. Because if ZMan makes it past this, then there's no argument that Awaken Realms.
You can buy a ZMan game for $50.
Red Raven.
No, you can. You don't have to buy all the goop that comes in the extra garbage.
No, they're still $100 games.
Chris lost
games
on
are
that
$100 games at this point. Arc Nova.
Okay, but then again, why?
I feel pretty good because in the what I think is the hardest bracket, I got everyone right this time.
All right. Well, Mike's feeling good about himself.
No, I'm not.
All right.
I'm not.
My
this whole
right
thing
side
is
is looking
destroyed.
better, but whew.
I hate everything.
So
All right.
those are 2 each on that side, right?
Let's get our final 8 games here. We're down to 16 companies.
Ooh.
We're going to start with
That was brutal.
ZMan Games number 3 against number 6 Eagle Griffin Games.
I don't even have to look on either of these. These are both
no
wrecked.
idea.
Because the shawl should have been Fantasy Flight. So now that it doesn't matter to me, let me look at this. At this point now, to me, it's not even close because clearly there are many, many Lacerda fans in the chat. I mean, that's the bottom line, right? And if they've taken it this far over what I think are some pretty heavy hitters, I think that this one may not even be close.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
I don't know.
this is Lacerda.
I disagree. I think this is one that I think ZMan has surprised me by how much they are behind it, and they have that, whether it is the pandemic or the Feast for Odin, and it shows it can do the heavier games there, but I think the chat has been very behind ZMan. I did personally earlier, this is one that I had already done, and I gave the nod to Eagle Griffin, even though it wasn't going against ZMan, but that's fine. So I'm going to stick with Eagle Griffin, but I'm going to be surprised.
Yeah, I don't know.
I had ZMan here biting it to leader games anyway, so I guess I'll do it, but just with Eagle Griffin, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Wendy says Oink is going to take it.
I don't know here. I think Rio Grande might pull this one out.
Rio Grande's not in this one.
Oh,
They still might, you know what I mean?
Sorry.
ZMan.
ZMan? Oh, okay.
I do make... Okay, just go ahead.
Lacerda! Here it comes. Here it comes.
By the way, I saw some people saying neither should be here, yada, yada, yada.
Wow, okay.
That's what I was,
well,
I gotta say,
unfortunate.
I'm starting to see a trend here, and I think this trend is true. The popular games are winning.
Yeah.
Not the esoteric fan favorites, but the popular games. This is pandemic riding this way.
Maybe.
But again, are we just going back to voting for games now? Do people
they
know
make
these
more than just
companies?
pandemic.
I don't think that people are.
But I think we have to be careful here. You can't sit here, and some people in the chat are doing this too. They're like, this isn't valid. This is wrong. This is what people like. This is not like made up numbers.
Right, yeah. Right.
I'm not making a list here.
Right.
This is you can't say people don't actually like these games when they clearly do.
They're voting, right?
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Anyway, next one here, we got Plan B games against CGE.
Oh, that's invalid.
I don't even know what to think. I didn't think either of these companies were getting in on
I
this.
am so on the board here with CGE. I really think CGE is on a roll.
Pandasaurus for me. So,
I think Azul and Great Western Trail are powerful, but CGE has like the most anticipated games at Essen almost every year these days.
Talk about it.
I guess we didn't like it.
Yeah, I guess I'm completely misjudging how popular CGE is. I mean, I do see like...
Oh, you don't see the room up at Gen Con. That room is upstairs, and it is jam-packed.
Or at Essen, I mean...
And they also do a very good job of promoting their games. They do a great job of promoting their games. They're usually... Another thing that's important that I'm probably valuing is that you can typically buy their games when they're hot.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Right. Oftentimes there'll be a super hot game. Oh, that's out of print.
Yeah.
It's between print runs.
Right.
CGE generally makes sure their games are available.
Right.
That's a big deal, apparently.
Well, that's close, though. That's closer than I thought.
That is closer than I thought as well. Again, going back to what you said earlier, Tom, just based on like the booths and how busy they are, especially at Essen, CGE was like shoulder to shoulder the entire time.
All right, here we go. Moving on to
not for me.
Rio Grande against Portal Games here.
I had Rio Grande losing to Yellow, so it doesn't matter for me.
This is interesting to me right now. This is both of these have big games, and if we're going based off of games and how big they are, yes, there's Dominion, yes, there is Race for the Galaxy, but Robinson, that's a big deal.
It is.
That people have loved that game for a long time.
And again, I'm going to add in the personality of Ignacy does matter.
Agree.
He
Imperial
also gets his
Settlers
people are also excited about his game.
I agree. They have it's a vibrant company. It's almost the exact opposite of Rio Grande, and unfortunately, some of their covers.
Well, the covers are terrible. But again, look at I don't know. That's 5 strong games.
Those are very good. Okay, I'm being hyperbolic. Those are really great games. All of those. I
gotta be honest though, I thought Rio Grande wasn't gonna make it very far.
I'm surprised that they seem to be beloved. I think the question you posed, though, I'm sorry if we're taking that question to heart. If there's a game coming out, which of these two would I rather it be by? They're done a while ago, Rio Grande.
Actually, I would pick Rio Grande over Portal right now.
What?
Really?
I'm sorry. Portal's had some duds.
Because you don't want to be able to read the cover, or because?
Well, that's true. Okay, there's no question. We're not picking by production values here.
We've already done the covers list. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. I don't know.
Oh, now this matters.
Rio Grande. Well,
that was my last hope for the left side.
I think that was Chris's last shot on the left side too.
That is done.
I have one more chance still here on this side.
None of those. 0 points there for me.
All right.
Okay, that one.
We now have.
That just happened mattered. This one really matters.
This one matters
Well,
big
I'm
to
friends,
me.
I'm friends with the owners of both of these companies. So I'm very curious. We got Arcane Wonders and Restoration Games.
Yeah. So this is an interesting thing in that I picked a company for this one. I almost don't want to say it before.
You don't have to say it now.
Because now I'm like paranoid that it's like, no. I picked a company for this one to win, and actually go even further that I, at the beginning of this, would not have thought I would have picked this much.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll see. I'm going to wait until.
I refuse to say anything.
I kind of feel like I'm the same way.
I plead the fifth. Okay.
Right.
Y'all are voting against us.
I agree.
Well, I mean, I had, as much as I like Justin, I got to side with Arcane Wonders here.
I think people are voting for different reasons here. You know, Restoration, they're voting for maybe some nostalgia, something like that it's pulling back out. Arcane Wonders is just some really good hits recently, some new titles.
Unmatched, though, man.
You know?
Unmatched is a really strong game.
Super strong, and also they I don't know, they have a very wide range too, right? They've got huge Kickstarter behemoth, Dark Tower. They've got mass market, go to Target, buy them there. They've got the nostalgia factor.
Right, yeah, I think they have.
They haven't really put out a dud. I mean, they have, you know, their initial lineup were not as popular, maybe, you know, like the Indulgence and stuff, but okay, I picked wrong here.
Guys, I love Arcane Wonders. I did not expect them to make it this far.
I didn't either.
Unless Robert's watching, in which case I had every confidence in you, sir.
The whole left side of my thing is wrecked.
Yeah, I'm done now there.
That is correct.
All right.
That left side was rough.
This is done.
I'm going to hear so many comments. I'm like, well, the Dice Tower is obviously not in tune with the people.
Clearly.
I didn't think it's...
Yeah, Roy's the voice of the people. All right.
I mean, I feel like that's
Let's go to the other side. We have Repos Production against Direwolf.
Who cares? I don't care.
I had Awaken Realms.
They're all dead to me. It's all dead.
I had Awaken Realms.
I had Awaken Realms going up against.
All right, fine. Pick up which of these two you like better.
Well, now I'm going to say Repos because apparently they're the hottest publisher in the game.
I don't know.
No, Dune and Plank.
Yep, I'm
okay.
Based
I'm
on
all
the
about.
I'm sorry. I like Repos.
Yeah.
I really actually like Repos a lot. I did not see them getting anywhere near this part of the bracket.
Are you guys missing that fact that when we do like People's Choice?
I know Seven Wonders is huge.
Duel goes almost all the way to the top.
I get it, but I don't know.
Well, that's from them?
Guys, I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all. These three are over here, okay? I believe in you. I believe in you all.
I'm just saying.
I'm going Direwolf on this one, guys.
The problem you're missing, Tom, is you're believing them over Arcane or over Awaken Realms.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, I mean, I don't know. We're at Repos versus Direwolf. I'm picking Repos here, although I could see Direwolf winning because Dune Imperium's really high.
I have no idea who's going to win.
I'm going to give it to Direwolf.
Oh, I'm switching back to Direwolf. No, I'm Repos.
I'm picking the winner. Direwolf is what I pick.
I believe my switching back and forth was legit.
Sure.
Did you see Direwolf going this far?
No, I took him out the first round.
Those two games are so popular.
Direwolf lost to Pegasus for me.
All right.
So apparently Dune is more popular than Seven Wonders, is what we just learned.
It was the first round.
Now we have an
Again,
interesting
voting for
matchup here.
single game.
Lookout
Yeah.
games
Which is-
with all the Rosenberg stuff against Days of Wonder.
Right.
Yep.
There's actually,
I
both
didn't
of these
vote on
are still
this one.
alive for me in my
Not-
bracket.
not me, I
And
have
Wendy's bracket.
I have one
We
alive.
are voting again against each other. And maybe I chose the wrong path here. I'm wondering now.
Yeah, I'm
not gonna say what I
I'm not going to
picked.
say what I picked
Okay,
yet.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
folks. You've burnt that bridge.
That's correct. I'm now afraid. I'm afraid to speak up.
You thinking people...
I really
I've
feel
been
like
silenced.
Okay, first of all,
I've been silenced.
I put the link in here way before you guys are saying this
Doesn't
stuff.
matter, okay?
No.
You can still go back and change your
There's
vote,
also
right?
like a 30-second delay, right?
Yes.
I picked Days of Wonder.
I did too. I gave the nod to Days of Wonder.
So did Wendy. She picked Days of Wonder.
You
I went
went
with Lookout.
With Lookout?
I like Days of Wonder. I'm kind of leaning with Z though because the
wouldn't-
Critical Cavern is so powerful.
Sorry, people are voting with, again, it seems a designer, a game, something that they are
Yeah,
nostalgic
baby!
about. But you know, I could be wrong.
Oh, are you?
No, I'm not wrong. I could be, I said.
Oh my goodness.
These are worth 4 points?
I am thrilled about this because I'm glad you guys acted like this whole thing was some predictive thing. You said that it was obvious who would make it to the Final Four. I feel like this proves it's not.
Well,
Oh,
I
you know,
feel
they
like
get
it proves
proves that-
that there's shenanigans afoot.
I think
is
it
what I
proves
feel
that
like,
people
Chris.
vote for a single game and not a company.
This is why, folks, I mind losing the least here because you can see there's some sort of.
I'm just saying, if I had picked
I
if I had picked this, it would look exactly like my bracket.
also-
That's all I'm saying.
I also love-
I got it all right.
I also love that I've gotten called out twice in chat. Calm down, Camilla. It doesn't matter. Meanwhile, Mike's
What?
over here seething.
No.
You're being very aggressive, Camilla. I, for one, don't
This man is
appreciate
having
it.
a meltdown over here.
I know, and I'm the one getting called out in
That
chat.
negative
Calm
energy
down.
is a
It's
little bit
just
too
for
much.
fun. And I'm like,
Oh my
so
gosh.
I'm going to redirect those comments to Mike.
All
I think you spelled Mike wrong.
I'm doing just fine.
Meanwhile, we now have
You know that meme of the dog in a burning
We have
room? That's me
Capstone.
right now. It's fine.
Guys,
Everything's fine.
really number
All
back
right,
in.
all right.
Capstone games against Garfield games.
All right, I've got both of these. I got
These are the ones I saw.
Okay,
yeah.
now
Actually, this side of the bracket, I've been completely
This
right.
is one where I think it shouldn't be close because as much as Garfield, he does a fantastic job. I like Shem a lot, and he does great games. But come on, Capstone is nailing it these days.
I agree. It should not be close.
I'm-
It should be Garfield.
I'm going to stick with what I originally said was Garfield, but I think I'm going to get this one wrong. I think,
Oh, I do too. I think
because we're
Capstone's gonna win.
clearly, I think we're going with
But
single
I'm-
games. And
It's not just single games. Capstone has really strong games.
some.
Wendy right here has Capstone. I have Garfield.
Yeah, I have
So,
Garfield. Chris also has Capstone. I think it's going to be Capstone, but I picked Garfield.
I think it's going to be Garfield.
Yeah.
I
think
Z,
it should-
calm down, people are saying.
Yeah, I figured as much.
yeah.
That's
I was
really
out on that
close,
one.
though.
Then give it time.
Okay, well, here's one thing that I can say as I'm looking at everything here.
Look
I'm
how
bad at
close.
this.
That is very
I'm bad
close.
at this.
No matter what happens, Euro games are winning today.
That's true.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except for
Well, Garfield
Repos.
is Euros too, though. I mean,
Repo-
those are both
Repos
Euros.
is Euro.
But they have, I know
Well,
so
party
close.
games.
They're
too,
from
but-
Europe, you mean? No.
Also,
it's
Repos
Seven
lost to
Wonders,
Direwolf. Okay, anyhow.
Right, but they
Our
went
last
a lot
matchup
further than-
here. It's time for Stonemeyer to face yet another David.
This is rough.
Red
man.
This is
Raven
hard.
Games.
I don't know, but these two publishers to me are very congruent, right? They really are. Although the biggest game in Stonemeyer's lineup is not a Stegmaier design, so there is a difference there. But otherwise, they've run their companies pretty. I think there's some similarities there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They built up a very strong community. They're
Yeah.
very active in the community. They're kind of front-facing. People know who runs Stonemaier. People know who runs Red
Right.
Raven. To some extent, these publishers kind of follow the lead of a pretty singular voice. So I'm
Feels like
interested.
a fair fight, I guess.
yeah,
is what I'm saying.
this doesn't feel like
Right.
David
Like an
Goliath.
even fight.
I like Red Raven better. I just can't imagine Stonemeyer losing right
I like
now.
these both. I have one I picked, but I'm happy seeing either of them go on.
I think, this would actually be a rest of the bracket buster for me. Spoilers. But I think ultimately they are, with the Stonemaier, you have that wide appeal, versus the people with
Yeah.
Red Raven. It's going to be your thematic gamers and your story gamers and that kind of stuff. So I personally
Okay.
went Red Raven, and that's
Calm
really
down, Stonemaier.
unfortunate.
Calm down. You're
But
screaming.
Yeah, that
you're
energy.
hysterical.
Let's take it down a few
You
notches.
just stop.
It's
You're hysterical.
You're screaming. Stonemaier. I'm I'm still good.
We're down to the
I'm
final
killing
8.
it.
We're down to the final 8. Like I said, it's mostly Eurogame companies left here. Very interesting.
So many points on that one.
First, we have number
many?
3 against number 16,
many was that
ZMan
each?
Games
4.
with the
4.
pandemic juggernaut against
Wait, is it?
CGE.
It's crazy to me that these two are going up against each other here.
Fours, yeah.
Well, actually, I am surprised about Z-Man. I'm not surprised about CG, but I'm readjusting my thinking here
I'm
because I
out.
didn't think about the fact
Totally.
that people would pick the popular games, but that makes sense. I was
yes.
thinking more dedicated
done
fan
at
base.
this
I
think I'm
was
done.
too.
And obviously,
Oh, no,
the
I got
dedicated fan
one.
base thing isn't happening here.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
You
No,
are
I'm out.
done.
I'm
You're
done.
fully
I'm
out.
out.
Oh yeah, no, this whole side of the bracket is gone for me.
Well, I'm still in this.
she's
Both
like
sides of
done
my
now.
bracket are done.
CGE I'm picking here, even though, again, the pandemic, Feast for Odin, Stone Age is pretty strong, but I'm telling you, look how popular Arnak is.
I know I'd be picking Z-Man, but I'd be picking
You're in
Z-Man.
this? Who'd you pick?
You had this one. Wow.
It's crazy to me.
I'm shocked
Just
Z-Man
I
came
am
this
so.
far.
Let me see.
I so underestimated how popular
Oink.
CGE was.
I vastly underestimated
Wait, when did you pick
Z-Man.
Oink for this one?
Yeah.
We're in what, the Elite
She
8
thought
right
Oink would
now?
make it to the final 4.
She made it to the final 2, actually.
8 points for the
Wow.
Elite 8. Yeah.
She has Oink to
No.
the final 2, yeah. That's just fantasy flight still for me at this point up here.
Yeah, that's what
so.
I had to.
All right, CG, come on.
Never mind.
Great poker.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
you're good, bro.
Z-Man.
Gosh, that is so surprising to me that Z-Man made it this far.
Z-Man's in the final 4.
I'm not saying it's not
so-
That's
deserved.
called the
So
Fantastic
interesting.
Four, right? The
That is
final
nuts.
4.
Final 4.
I'm not saying it's not
I want to call it
deserved.
the Fantastic
You
Four.
can, Plastic Man. You'll be fine.
Okay.
I don't even have the next poll ready because I was so interested in that one.
Wow.
Where does CG even? Oh, there it is. Oh, dang.
That
All right,
just-
now we have Rio Grande games going up against Arcane Wonders.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
I had Restoration.
Okay, so I
I don't
obviously
know what I had, yeah.
like Arcane Wonders better, and I thought Rio Grande would knock out, but again, maybe I'm forgetting this whole Beyond the Sun, Dominion, Race for the Galaxy,
you look
Concordia,
again,
Underwater
yeah.
Cities. That's 5 really strong games.
You look at those 5 games, that's pretty strong. I would personally go Arcane Wonders because, again, so many of those games right there are in my top 100, right? I mean, they're games that I absolutely adore. Whereas I like Dominion, I like Race for the Galaxy, I like Underwater Cities.
I'm
Beyond the
gonna
Sun,
go
I like
with-
them all.
I'm going to go with Arcane Wonders on
I
this
think
one.
Arcane Wonders has survived.
You're the Arcane Wonders is
Bigger
what you're doing,
votes.
Tom?
Oh, no. I like Arcane Wonders, I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think Rio might win here
I'm
again.
gonna go with Arcane Wonders.
Based upon the way that
I
they've
would
been
love Arcane
voting
Wonders
so far,
to win.
though, I mean, they are voting for like more of the old school companies a lot of times.
You're saying the audience is old.
They're not older than me, probably, but I'm
They're-
saying that they're favoring
Dude,
older
no
games.
one is older.
Hey,
Okay.
hey.
You can, yeah.
Hey,
all right, we'll see.
watch your mouth.
We'll see.
I'm sorry, sir.
Youngster.
All right, what do you got?
Yeah, see, Rio
Wow.
Grande, man. It's Z-Man and Rio Grande. It's like
Wow.
It is. It
Old
is
school.
older stuff. Or
I
a
applaud
single
you all
hot game.
because I came into this hoping it wouldn't be boring, and it's been nothing but
This is-
boring.
this is-
super happy.
this has not been Cult of the New, and again, people have been saying in the chat over and over again, this is best publishers of all time. I don't think they're looking at this with your premise. Is all I'm saying. Of if a game came out today, what would they be more
I'm
excited
happy with
about?
these decisions.
That's true. I think it's becoming most beloved publishers more
Right.
than its actual.
I have
Yeah.
never
best
heard so
publishers
many
right now,
excuses
yeah.
being made in my
I'm just telling you,
life.
Tom.
It is insane.
Do you think that more people will be excited about a new game from Rio Grande than they would from a new game from Arcane Wonders? Even the people that voted Rio Grande, I don't think they would. I think they're voting for that
Right.
I guess
lineup.
the
I
question is
agree.
which of these
I
do you
agree.
like better, so
Yeah.
I can't. Okay, here we go. We got Direwolf against Days of Wonder.
See, but this one breaks that argument, guys.
Very much.
Not if Days of Wonder wins.
Okay, fine, but they won't.
Do you?
I have-
Okay,
I have
I'm with
Days-
Days of Wonder.
I have Days
I'm
of
with Days
Wonder.
of Wonder.
I
yeah.
am too.
I'm sorry, Dune Imperium is so hot. People are just voting for Dune Imperium.
If that's the case, though, then why the other companies with very hot games have been knocked off?
Like, yeah, against Rio Grande.
I don't know. I look at
Dominion, I don't know.
I look at those
don't-
5 games.
I don't understand how Direwolf is this far. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're right. I agree with you. But I look at those 5 games from Days of Wonder. It's not even this to me should not even be a discussion, honestly.
Do you think that's influenced because of the game we played recently?
Take it right,
No,
baby.
take that completely out of the
I was
mix.
just curious.
Take it.
I'm
'Cause
saying look at
I'm with
those
you as well.
5s.
I would give the nod personally to Days of Wonder
Honestly,
here.
a lot of my favorite Days of Wonder games weren't even in that group of 5. So
All right, let's see what we got.
Calm down.
Let's see.
Camilla, you're being ridiculous. All right.
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
All right.
First one I got right gets here.
Where are we at, by the way? What's happening here?
We're in
Do I
the
need to worry
final
about
four,
this?
right?
No.
Days of Wonder made it to the final four. This is neat.
I had that. I did have that.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. All right. Now this Stonemeyer's rolled over the last two competitors. Let's see if they can roll over Capstone. That's going to be interesting. Capstone. This is the new hotness versus the always hotness. Stonemeyer, of course, again, wingspan's not a small thing. The wingspan side stuff.
That's one of your classic. It's not a small thing. It's a huge thing.
Yeah,
right?
right. I need to stop saying that.
No, it's fun. I like that actually. I do the same thing. But yeah, this is a.
I as much as I like Stonemeyer games, I am so on board with Capstone these
Not
days.
even a
I
chance.
love their stuff.
No.
But
Look
I
at
think
those
Stonemeyer will win.
five
I'm saying
games.
no. I'm saying
I'm
You're
sorry,
saying
no.
personal
No, I'm
versus
saying-
what you
yeah,
think
this
is
is a
happening.
personal thing.
Personal.
I love
Right.
Capstone. I think what they're doing is awesome. I could see them winning, maybe, but
Yeah, I
if
think
they don't win here, then Stonemeyer has it.
I
Okay,
like what
I'm calling that now.
I like what Capstone is doing, but
someone
to
would
me,
like
this
that.
is not. I mean, this is all day, every day. This is Stonemeyer.
All right, what do we got here, Roy? Oh, I guess I should get the final four ready.
No, we're
get
in
the
the final
Fantastic
four.
Four.
already.
we're
ready.
forming the final four.
Yeah.
We're not in the final four.
Got it.
Call him, okay? Where's the thing? Where's
Wait.
Torchy Man?
Wait, who had that? I didn't see it.
I don't know. We
Oh,
haven't-
did I not put the
Oh, I
link
put
in?
it
All
up.
Oh,
no, are you serious?
My gosh.
Well,
right, let's put the link in.
Can we
Sorry.
just pick?
oh,
No,
that-
I'll put the
what?
link in.
Let's just pick ourselves.
I'm telling you, I don't know. This is.
I need
gonna-
this to go.
Well, here, just put it up, and we'll watch it live, Roy.
We're still on those
let's
two,
watch it live.
Stonemeyer and
All right. Well, I
Maybe.
have a feeling this is gonna. We'll see how this works.
Sorry about not putting the link in there.
I don't trust the community at large, i.e., all of you. Calm down.
It's hard to watch it live when so many people are that ready to vote.
We're done.
Can I circle now?
It's
Wait,
gonna
was there?
be...
What? Wait, I might have put the link in
Oh,
wrong.
we're looking at it right now.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Blam. This is 8 points?
All right, ignore the
This
second
is
link.
8 points.
wow.
Final four is 16.
All right,
points.
this final four is Z-Man Games, Rio Grande Games, Days of Wonder, Stonemeyer. In my head, I had my idea who the final four would be, and I had only picked Stonemeyer.
I have 2 of the 4.
I have 1.
I have 0.
Chris
so
has 2 of the
doing
4.
great.
Hey, Chris and I have the same. We're
Really?
basically the same right
This
now.
is done.
Oh, wow.
All the way up through the end.
All right,
Through
so
the
the
end.
first one we
Wow.
have here is Z-Man Games,
Which is amazing.
who is
to me.
essentially the new Rio Grande against Rio Grande.
This as a Final Four matchup is amazing to me.
This is really cool. I
think
have
it's
all
cool,
these
but-
games in the library. I know people like these games a lot. We just reviewed 3 expansions of Dominion this week. One of them went up today.
Yeah.
You know, but also Z-Man, you guys just reviewed a Pandemic game.
Yeah.
These games are popular. When we do the
Yeah.
People's Choice, Pandemic has been
Bam.
#1 now for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to give the nod to Z-Man here. What do you think?
This was Z-Man and Rio Grande.
good.
I think I will too, actually.
I gave it to Z-Man. Not on my.
I'm going to go with Rio Grande again. Why not? This is unstoppable.
Done you well.
Okay?
They're stoppable. They got stopped.
I know how to pick my things from now on. I'm going to be like, Z, what do you think?
I got you. I'm taking care of it.
All right. In the final 2, Z-Man Games. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have
I've got Fantasy Flight.
Days of Wonder versus Stonemeyer Games. Now, I love Days of Wonder, but I'm almost ready to write Stonemeyer here now. But I don't know.
Did you put the link in already?
I did put the link in.
Okay. Yeah, I picked Stonemeyer here, but this is I think this one might be closer.
I think Stonemeyer has it here.
This
I
is
think-
one I feel like you almost can't go wrong. I mean, both of these publishers put out
Yeah.
Stone Cold classics. Days of Wonder's been doing it longer, but I think Stonemeyer is,
I think it goes back to the comment you said earlier where they have that personal touch, you know, like,
Right.
you know, he's really Jamie's really involved and,
Yeah.
you know, has channeled that kind of stuff. I think it's that personal touch that brings it too.
Yeah, that's close. That's close.
Not as
This is 16 if you get this.
Yeah.
Okay, so now
Hypothetically.
if we take their most popular games, we have Wingspan against Pandemic. And those are, when we do People's Choice, I believe they were 1 and 2 games.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. So we have Z-Man Games against Stonemeyer Games. Did I put the link in?
I see a link in there now, yeah.
Whew. Boy, the chat is on fire, folks. Thanks for being involved. That's the whole reason I do this.
Right.
And if y'all ever have ideas, you can put them in our Facebook group or email me, like, what are other matchups you'd like to see in the future? Because I really like doing these. They are a bunch of work. And I want to give a shout out to Chris, because he put together all these little montages. And that takes some doing.
And Roy putting them all together over there.
And then Roy's over there doing 85 buttons at the same time, but also voting.
He's doing that while cheating, which is really impressive. I'm kidding,
Yeah.
Roy. No one thinks that cheating
Roy's
is going to
doing
say
pretty
it.
well in this matchup here.
All right.
I thought he actually was.
All right, so that,
okay, all right. Yeah, okay, there we go.
all righty.
I had that.
You got your 32 points?
Yeah, I did.
I got it.
I got 2 of the final 4 and the champion, and so did Chris. And he's going to have better because I think he got more.
Stonemeyer Games is number 1. Number 2, Z-Man Games. I'm going to do a quick matchup here, a quick poll to see who number 3 is going to be, just for my fun of it. And that's going to be Rio Grande against Days of Wonder.
Oh, I think Days of Wonder.
Days of Wonder. Days of Wonder.
Again, they've been surprising me with their picks, but I think Days of Wonder I'd give it to.
Well, because they often do this. They often have the loser. What do you call that? Like
the consolation bracket.
Consolation bracket,
Fantastic
right?
Four.
Days of Wonder is just so recognizable too. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
you can
but
look at the
I
game
don't
and
know.
I'm like, I know
mean,
that's a Days of Wonder one.
all I know is I don't know anything.
And
Clearly.
Days of Wonder,
Oh my gosh.
unless something massively changes here, Days of Wonder has this one
They're
at 3
third place.
and gives Rio Grande 4.
All right. Rio Grande, I got to say, congrats, man, to them.
Yeah,
they came much farther than I would have anticipated. Where did I have Days? Wait, that was we're talking Rio Grande.
Patrick says for
I have them
pundits, it's
losing
pretty
to
bad.
yellow.
They were also terrible at this bracket, but we're just guessing what people like.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily know, and you know what? This is good for me because I like to know what people think. Board Game Geek has the top 100, but it only rates. But because of the way people go in there and rate games, you will only rate games you like. So Z's never going to play, Tainted Grail probably.
Yeah.
Don't.
And so
tell
won't
me what
play
I'm
it.
gonna do.
And I'm
Okay.
not going to play the sequels to Oniram. So I'm not going to rate them.
Don't tell me if I'm going to break into your house or not. Okay.
I wake up, he's like, you will play this game. Okay.
I'm like leaning. It's set up.
How many points does Chris have?
I don't know. He's doing all right.
All right. So what do we got? Are
So
we adding these
basically,
up?
I guess if you're supposed to, yeah. So
Well, you're the one who did the whole bracket breakdown.
I'm so disillusioned with this whole thing. So I got to get my.
I feel like you guys are all getting
Awaken rounds.
crushed by me.
Oh,
Now y'all know how I
definitely-
feel when I do the basketball one.
All right, so let's do
I pick
this.
random teams, and then when my team wins in the first round, I'm like, I knew it!
Okay, so Chris got 32 for winning that. He got 2 of the final 4, so he's got another 32 there.
I'll answer questions while they're counting.
He's already beat me.
See,
so we're
this is
good.
the part that's kind of hard
Let's
for me.
look at the
'cause
comments
this is,
here.
He didn't pick. We
Joseph
didn't do
says I have a hard time
bracket.
balancing production quality.
How much are
and
these worth?
He said something
These are
else.
16.
But,
these are 8.
Yeah, I agree. Balancing production quality. What did he say?
3.
I have a hard time balancing production quality and game
4,
quality.
5.
And that's true. I think a publisher matters most.
See, these are 4.
That's why I'm always interested
you
in
do
a
it?
publisher
There's
more
the
than a
breakdown
designer
right
because
What's right?
designers
I don't know
create
what's
good
right.
games.
Yeah.
The circle
But a
ones are
publisher
right.
has to recognize
32.
great games
Right.
and then make them look good.
But how many people
This is
do you think
16.
know that, that are out there
Right.
watching
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff?
those
You know
are
what I mean? Like,
8.
that was a great
This is
comment.
correct?
Yes, and I
Yes.
agree, and it
If it's
sounds like
circled,
he's
it's
in
8.
tune with that.
8.
But I think a lot of people, average gamers
This
will
is
say,
4.
not people that have
4.
the luxury
I don't
of
know.
what we
Actually,
do
no. I
with
think the
games
average
coming
gamer
in
picks
and out.
Twos
publisher
on all those.
because the average
These
gamer
are
doesn't
2.
necessarily know. It's kind of
2.
like me. I'm an average
2.
movie watcher,
2.
and I don't know who the directors are.
And the rest are 1s.
Okay.
2.
So that doesn't mean
And those
anything
all
to
just
me.
add
up.
Who directed the movie, or even
Dead.
the publishing house.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, that movie looks
These
interesting.
are
Right.
16.
I mean,
8.
and maybe I'm in the
4.
minority, but I think before coming to this job, I probably
2.
could have named, thanks to the super chat, I think I could have
Okay,
named
so this side is
maybe
easy.
4 publishers off the
got
top
all
of my
those,
head.
so-
Okay, so
'Cause
16,
it is
17,
about
18, 19,
what
20.
looks good, what you're interested in, what you see on the shelf.
And over here,
Brian says bracket the best
one.
designers. I thought about doing that. I thought about doing that,
that's
although we
another
have to again
32 to
figure
there.
out how many
Narrowing
games
it
are going
down
to
to
designer design.
8,
Narrowing it down to
12,
64, I mean,
13,
that's
14,
even
15, 16, 17, 18,
so
19,
many
20,
more to
22, 23,
cut out.
24.
Oh, did you score yours?
I have a score.
Oh, I
2,
scored like
3, 4,
a couple,
5, 6,
a while ago.
7,
What do you
About
got?
45 minutes
2,
ago,
3,
I scored
4,
mine.
5,
I'm
6,
good.
7, 8,
49?
9, 10,
49.
11, 12, 13.
That's more than I got.
I beat Wendy. She got
Set that
through.
up.
Roy, what'd you get?
Do mine.
I was.
You haven't done yours?
Nah.
Oh!
Nah, fam.
Hopefully my math's okay.
Let's assume it's not.
Well,
20 plus
three check my
32
math.
plus 30. Not me. I'm terrible at math.
I think Obi right there. I think that people were too influenced by the
Chris
pictures.
ended
But
up
again,
with 121.
but again, that goes back to the argument that
Mine was
people only.
148.
Wow.
But I got messed up on leader and I got messed up on Awaken Realms.
Awaken
Other than
Realms wrecked
Other than
me.
that, everything else was pretty solid.
Awaken Realms wrecked me, and I took too many risks in the first round.
I like Max. He says Mike and Z playing the world's worst roll and write.
I know, yeah, basically.
Very much.
That's 2, 4, 6. Gives you 21 for this whole side, basically.
That's beautiful. 21. I love everything. about it.
21. Then over here's 32 and 32 again. Doing that whole thing that you
Right.
like Chris
So
did.
we're still trying to figure
So
out
up
the
to
winner.
there. And then these are 4.
I would like somebody to do a to give me an idea
And then
that's not
these are
best
2.
designer. We did the best cover art and the worst cover art. That was
Yeah.
fun. I like people to
Okay,
give me
so
something
we're
else
looking
that's
at
easily
4,
judgeable. Like if you like
8,
sometimes
9,
you're
10,
like do
11,
the
12,
worst
13,
rule
14,
books.
15,
Well,
16, 17, 18,
most people haven't read the
19,
rule
20,
books, so you don't know.
1, 2,
That's true,
3,
yeah, 'cause a lot of
4,
people just
5,
learn
6,
from
7,
YouTube or
8,
learn something
9,
like that. That's a hard
30,
one to do.
32.
We could do best card art, but then I would need people to send me the
That's
pictures of the cards because I can't
96.
easily find that online.
96 plus
And
21,
then, I mean, would you
right?
only include one card for each game?
Well, sure.
So
Or
I
the
ended
board
up,
art would be interesting.
I ended up with
Board art, I think, would
117.
be better. Or graphic design, like most
What did you end up with, Z?
usable
101.
board.
Okay.
What'd you get, Mike?
117. Chris had 121.
I had 101.
Oof, that was a bloodbath.
Roy says he has 140 something.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa,
That's
Roy, there
convenient.
it is.
Min-max.
How many of the final 4 did you get?
Mid-max.
I had Stonemaier, and Days of Wonder.
That's what I had, yeah.
I messed up on Arcane Wonders and Leader.
Yeah, so what were the final 4s? I had Fantasy Flight, Restoration,
Yes.
Days of Wonder, Stonemaier is my
I had
final
Lookout
4.
instead of Days of Wonder. That's it.
I had 2 of the final
Fantasy Flight, Restoration,
Right.
Lookout, Stonemaier.
Chris had Fantasy Flight, Chip Theory, Days of
All
Wonder.
right, guys. Well, we need to get going because we got to record some stuff, and we got another day here. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We really appreciate everyone coming in. I appreciate everyone's enthusiasm about this. I hope it wasn't boring to watch. Later on, when you watch it and you judge everyone for what they picked, remember, I'll say this again: people voted for what they voted. To kind of spit upon that seems uncouth to me. You know, like, oh, well, the people don't know what they're talking about. I guess you're smarter than the people. I just saw a super chat.
Super chat.
Yeah. Flew by.
Bye.
Also, not the voice of the people. I highly disagree with the things I highly disagree.
Do we know
Reads
when the
the people
voting for the
well.
People's Choice Top 100 for this year will start? Yes, probably in December, because I try to have a month of it. So keep an eye out for that. We will be setting up the People's Choice voting and pick the best games of all time because the top 100s are coming in January. But before all that, tomorrow morning, me, Mike, and Camilla, right? No, me, Chris, and Camilla.
Yeah, I didn't think I was
Me,
in
Chris,
that
and Camilla are playing the new version of On the Underground live here, and then come back on next week. You're gonna see the 12 games of Christmas, which we're always excited to do, giving you some Christmas lists of games to buy for this holiday season. The week after that is Thanksgiving, and the week after that we'll be at PAX Unplugged.
Ooh.
Busy times coming. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks again, Roy and Chris. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Mike DeLisio.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Camilla Clyghorn.
And I'm hot. Let's end
It
this.
is warm, yeah.
What's going on?